Hey, it's the Bennington Show on a Thursday. Ron Bennington, Gail Bennington.
Yo.
Dylan Covers Week.
One of the best, maybe.
Knock, knock, knock it on hell down. That band is, I guess they're going to tour, is the last I heard. Guns, Some Roses will be there, but not all the original band members.
Right. I thought it was the original band members, not
all
everyone.
of them are in.
Who's out?
I think Jimmy Jams. Is that his name?
Jimmy Jam's the bassist.
No, the guitar player, the unslash guitar player.
Oh, okay.
What's his name, Joe?
Duffy?
Not Duffy.
Izzy.
Izzy
Stratland, yeah. Duffy.
Fuck does this guy know? Jackie shit.
First of all, it isn't Duffy, it's Duff.
I call him Duffy.
Everything can't be the Replacements. Hey, there's a new book coming out about the Replacements, too. Al Dukes has been writing to me about it, like, oh, he's so excited.
Nice.
Yeah, because I like to read books, I guess, about Replacements.
You do love to read.
You know, I love to read about bands, like, you know, how they got their start, you know, first big break.
It's one of your many hobbies.
Yeah, how they didn't want to do that video, you know. That's always the exciting part. We're not, tell the record company, we're not doing that fucking video, man. All right, it is the Bennington Show. I'm looking up on TV, and it looks like Barack Hussein Obama has just surrendered to Canada.
No.
They've taken over the White House yet again. They just showed up, and he didn't know what to do, and he said, you can have the country.
I think they'll actually take care of everything.
It'll be better for healthcare for some people, you know. They love their healthcare. I guess he has to wait until his wife gets back, and then they could run them out of there. You know, I'm starting to think Trump can't be elected at all now.
You think it's over?
I was with Ant yesterday, and he's more of a cruise man.
Really?
He's embarrassed by the things that Trump says rather than me laughing at the things Trump says.
He doesn't find it humorous?
Yeah. I would say things about Cruz right now that the Secret Service would have to show up for. That when people want to stop Trump, I'd rather stop Cruz.
Yeah. Cruz is the terrifying one.
Yeah.
I mean, he's nightmare fuel. And you know what happened, the debate with the thing that I don't want to talk about.
He's disgusting.
After that, I don't know how anyone can look at him.
I give him a lot of credit as a politician because I think he's outperformed what he's had to work with, you know? Because you look like the bad guy in any high school movie, or you could look like the bad guy in any prison movie. He looks like a fucking warden. And yet some people vote for him. So, more to him. I can't get over anybody who, once they have a thought, thinks it comes directly from God instead of from their own brain.
Yeah.
Like, I could guess that you would, I understand praying on something, but then going, hey, God told my wife I should run for president, so I'm not going to go against him.
Good point. God also told me, it seems like a taco night.
Yeah, I know. God tells me ice cream with every meal, including breakfast. What is this, like an ice cream and egg sandwich? Delish.
Love it.
Deli. God told me to pull my eyes back and make fun of Asian people, so don't blame me.
Those are his wishes.
Yeah. What was that Vine that you had of him? Let's tweet out that Twitter Vine. It's very, very funny.
Let's put it up on the Twitter tweet.
Yeah, get it up where everybody can take a look at it. We don't have it? Then we move on. It is the Bennington Show. Hey, we want to thank somebody for doing an article on GPS.
That's right. The Vinyl District. Wait. VinylDistrict.com, and it was Sean McGann who wrote the article, so you can check it out there. Ron and Gail Bennington, traversing the history of music via GPS.
Oh, I like that.
I know.
That's a great title.
So check it out.
Check it out.
Check it out.
It's VinylDistrict.com.
Mm-hmm.
VinylDistrict.com. It's got the best stuff ever.
It was very exciting for me.
Yeah, I loved it too. Here is Joe in Milwaukee. Joe.
Yeah, it seems to me that Cruz doesn't want to be a leader. He wants to be a ruler. And the reason it would be a bad thing for him if he ran against Hillary, what happened many years ago, the last time a Cuban fell into the hands of a Clinton.
Yeah. The Clinton brothers are better politicians than people want to think. They are rough and tumble. They're a tag team, but one's in, one's out. They always stay fresh. Even if they got a single match, one of them is normally laying under the ring, ready to jump out and throw one of those tables or chairs. Really, if I was the commissioner of wrestling, I would say, let's clear out everything under the ring. You know, that's not a storage place.
Is no one checking it before?
The problem is they end up using that stuff. I know that you want to have a place to keep the extra tables and chairs, but they use it for weapons.
Yeah, the problem, too, is that they move from town to town. They're still storing this stuff underneath. They're moving that stuff with them.
Yeah, I mean, I would just say we probably have too many tables and chairs. We don't need that much. You know?
In fact, none of these people in the audience get a table. I don't know what we're doing with all these tables.
I would say this right away. I don't want to see a table or a chair in that ring unless it's a table and chair match. And now that I think of it, that might even put the wrong idea in people's heads. That a table and chair are sometimes accepted. It should just be never.
Just make the people stand. Don't even do away with chairs altogether.
No one's ever been hit with a boom mic, which always surprises me. I mean, you think there would be plenty of those around. No one's had a camera just rammed into their stomach.
Just right into their teeth.
There was a camera around, so I used it. Yeah. It is the Bennington Show. We got an Unmasked coming up that we're all very excited about. And that is next. Is it Tuesday?
It's Tuesday, March 15th. Unmasked with Bonnie McFarlane at 8 p.m. at the Village Underground in New York City. Everyone attending will receive a free copy of Bonnie's new book, You're Better Than Me, with a book signing happening after. Go to theinterrobang.com for a chance at free tickets.
That's very exciting.
Wow.
I cannot wait.
You know what surprised me? First of all, the book is terrific. But 4 of the different stories in the book actually happened to me.
Oh.
Really?
I don't know whether it's parallel thinking, which seems to be big with Bonnie these days.
Parallel writing as well.
Yeah,
Once you
writing.
write down those parallel thoughts.
Yeah, once you write them down, they're permanent. I say this, the first person to get them in a library wins. I wonder if this book will end up in a library.
Oh, it's got to.
You're here to check out the Bonnie McFarlane book?
That's right.
Okay, I'm going to need to see some ID.
I don't have any.
And I can't give it.
Can I just take
Because
this?
this is R-rated.
I'll bring it back when I'm done.
This is an R book.
R-rated.
Oh, good. The Ted Cruz is up now if we want to have
Thank
a look.
Christ.
God damn it. I love it.
Yeah. Is it up there on the Twitter tweets?
It's up on the Twitter tweets.
Great.
On Bennington Show Twitter.
Turn up volume, though.
Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
Why?
Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
That's the most frightening thing I've ever seen.
It's really scary.
That should be an R-rated movie right there.
I feel crazy watching that.
You are crazy.
Is this really happening?
It's not going to happen, Chris. So he's got, like, moose ears up that he's flapping back and forth and he's shouting, not going to happen.
There's no reason to ever do this when the cameras are on. There's not a circumstance.
Not gonna happen. That's fucking insane.
This is like torture. If they just playing this on a loop, you make it go fucking nuts.
Coming up a little later on, Steely Dan is gonna, give us the full rate. He was in here yesterday, but Joe did not give approval. And you looked it over and you do approve?
I've approved. I've seen
Did
this.
something have to change?
Something had to be slightly altered, but everything is now approved. Everything's approved.
Like we're doing radio in communist Russia, I'll say.
I went through the scuttlebutt.
Listen, he's just getting the gossip he hears. You know what I mean?
What was your favorite part of the Vinyl District interview?
I don't know. The whole thing was so great. It was just, for me, it was just exciting to see it. It's never happened to me before.
My favorite part of it is when I said death to the Cossacks. And it has been taken out of context mainly on Cossacks.com. Those fuckers just read the whole thing. I'm saying that to every Cossack. Read the entire thing before you stone me for the death to Cossacks line.
Yeah. Anything can be taken out of context. And
well, the problem with this, there was no context to it. I just fucking yelled it out for no apparent reason.
But still, that doesn't mean you have to print it.
I feel better when they're dead.
Jump out of that, Joe.
Too late.
Jump out of everything, Joe. Just make it fucking 3 o'clock now.
I didn't know Cossacks were so vocal on the internet.
There's a lot you don't know because you're in the deep fucking dark web.
There's no Cossacks there, just creeps and weirdos.
Are there just creeps and weirdos down there?
Yeah, creeps, weirdos, criminals.
No, you don't have it lined up here where I can see the dark web, right?
No.
Good.
I don't think I can install the browser.
Oh my God, why would you do that in your home? They're going to fucking pick you up.
They're going to get you.
They can try.
Not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
I think that this is the craziest thing I've heard in some time, that Dos Equis is retiring the most interesting man in the world ad campaign. Now, I'll say this. Unlike other ad campaigns, right? I never would have heard of Dos Equis if not for this campaign. I would have no idea who they were.
Yeah, their numbers went up massive after that. Like, this was one of those situations where they nailed it and it completely changed their business.
Now, what do you think of the beer?
I like it. I never drank it before.
I don't often, order beer, but when I do, I make it a Dos Equis. But do you feel like they fucked up, or do you feel like it was toast that was spent?
No, I have no idea why they would do. I don't hear anyone saying they're sick of it yet.
It was the perfect fucking ad campaign. That man was amazing.
And I'm one of those
the fact that he was an old dude was fucking hilarious.
Yes, and like kind of a, like a silver fox type.
Yeah, he was. He was a very attractive older man.
But I don't understand why they would pull it, because I don't think I've heard anyone like commercials as much as this one. Like, I'm the type of person, I don't really enjoy any commercial. Like when you see that like goofy, it's so weird or it's so random and that makes you want I hate it. But
baby
this
puppy monkey?
No, I don't like baby puppy monkey.
Then I got a fucking tattoo for no reason.
Oh, no.
Because I think it's going to be around for a long time. I wanted it to be tatted up.
But even worse than saying they're not going to do it anymore, they're considering having a new face and a new guy and doing a similar type thing to most interesting.
He was just getting too much money. That's what it was.
You think so?
It has to be, because the fact that they're not dumping the campaign means they can't stand him or they don't want to pay him.
They're ripping off KFC is what they're doing. They see what KFC is just replacing Cardinals up and right here.
By the way, that works too. Next person that's going in is Ted Cruz.
Oh.
I like chicken. I fuck around a lot.
They're going to send him to Mars. That's how they're going to end the most interesting man in the world.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense, though. Make him the most interesting man on Mars.
All is on Mars is fucking Mars rovers. They don't drink.
How do you know, Chris? You've never been up there.
No,
I think there's an fucking world there.
Yeah.
Filled with caves and monsters.
See, I think that there might have been civilization there, but it's totally wiped out. That's
it's wiped out because they went underground. There's cities underground.
All I know is it's not the sort of place to raise a kid.
Well, that's because it's cold as hell. And there ain't no one to raise them if you did.
Martian nannies. You have none.
Nothing. All right. Frankie's got an update on the Dos Equis guy. Frankie, what's up, buddy?
Hey, what's going on there, guys?
Well, we're all upset.
Pissed.
They're actually suspending the campaign with that guy because he's being sued by his management now, and he's become a liability.
That's pretty interesting.
Not that anybody.
Okay. Seems like they could use this to their benefit.
Well, why don't they just have the colonel and call him the most interesting guy? And he's eating fucking chicken and he's drinking Dos Equis and everybody's fucking happy. Hey, Dan, what's up, buddy?
Hey, buddies. Well, apparently this Dos Equis guy likes to get that dirt wet, and apparently he's got a bunch of illegitimate kids and ex-wives that he owes back child support to. At least that's what I heard on one of the rag shows on TV. So if your crack fucking Google team might want to do a little
Our
research
crack
on
Google
that
team
before
doesn't move, dude. These motherfuckers, we moved Vito in here, and I haven't seen him move since. You know, he'll put up pictures of wrestlers while we're talking, and that's it. I want to get that on Dan's gossip, too. That's coming up very soon.
And it's not even wrestling-related topics. He just wants to look at wrestlers.
Yeah, I wonder if Dan has something about our big interview that's in Vinyl District, too.
Oh, I hope he does. I hope everyone is talking about it at the water cooler.
I wrote a song called The Vinyl District Sleeps Tonight, and I don't know if I can get anybody, into it.
Right.
I don't know. Fucking musical careers going nowhere.
Well, I think that'll help.
Well, the flip side is Death to Cruise, so I hope that works.
Not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Yeah, let's bring Dan in here. Although I didn't send him in on his own anyway. Remember the premise I told you?
Yes.
You didn't pass on, or?
Did not pass on.
Well, you got me. I love it. I love a prank show.
I didn't know this was a prank
It's
show.
not a prank show.
Anytime that Chris is here, he's pranking me. Let's get a little bit of gossip, serious gossip from our own Steely Dan.
Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Mr. Dan Man, bring us some news, some juicy gossip from Studio 2. Bring us the tips, like who's out the door. All from the 37th floor. Dan Man,
yes,
who makes the most loot. Don't have nobody to give us the scoop.
Okay.
Please, Dan, keep your ear to it. It's the 37th floor gossip.
Wow, Steely Dan back with the gossip. You had one small gossip story yesterday, right?
Indeed, I did.
And that was what?
Well, Jam Band doesn't know anything, doesn't like jam bands.
He doesn't.
Does not.
I cannot.
He came in his first day. He kind of, I don't know, you got that vibe from him, and
well,
then
he said,
couldn't really.
I like jam bands.
Yeah, we believe
He was just trying to, give himself a character, give himself some.
It's worked because he's on GPS. As you know, the Vinyl District is just a buzz with that right now.
He's reading up on jam bands every night now just to, keep this
up the
jam
going.
band. Should I change your name?
I didn't know people were saying you don't like jam bands.
This guy's full of shit.
Okay.
That's
I take offense to that because
that's the second time someone said that your gossip is filled with
your
lies.
gossip.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a dead shirt, Dan, right now.
Oh yeah,
it's all part of the ruse.
Well, it's working. It's working. What else you got, Dan?
Well, a recently engaged promotions manager is taking his fiance's last name after they get married.
What? Are you kidding me?
It's not conventional these days.
Well, it's also, it's growing, right?
I suppose, it's out there, but I didn't think he was the type.
Not even a hyphen, though,
Yeah, I would get rid of the name Zito as fast as I could, though, because, anything that comes up alphabetical, you're at the end of the line.
I guess it's difficult, but we already call him by his last name, so it's going to be a weird adjustment. We're going to have to...
Hey, we're living in a Caitlyn Jenner world, right?
Right.
We have... He's... signature fluid. That's his deal.
I feel like we should all just take the last name Jenner. Everyone should do that.
Don't worry. It's already my first name, my actual first name, which is nuts.
Well, Ron is short for Jenner. That's where that comes from.
Yeah. All right, so Zito is taking his wife... Does he have a wedding date planned?
That I don't know.
Wait, I'll check with Chris. Chris never liked Zito until it was over.
Yeah.
You went to his pre-engagement party?
His engagement party, yeah.
And what was served?
There were tiny cheeseburgers.
I would love a tiny.
That's called a slider, by the way. Not a tiny cheeseburger.
Not so tiny rice balls, which they were like
rice balls
fucking
bigger
huge.
than the burgers?
They were. I was like, what is this? Keep them coming, though. Lamb. There was like little lamb skewers.
Okay. A lot of meats and carbs.
By the way, this sounds like
greens?
any Sirius XM fucking after party.
Actually, Christmas party.
I don't know why I'm asking that. I'm sure there were greens, but you were not paying any attention to them.
Why would I? Oh, there was a cheese plate at some point.
Yeah. What? He calls broccoli sticks. He goes, somebody already took the meat off the stick. All right, so Zito's taking his wife's last name. That's really, to me, progressive. Though.
That is.
It's kind of cool.
But it seems like people are gossiping about it.
Oh, well, Dan is. I mean, he's got the poop. You know what I mean? What else you got there, Dan?
Well, a certain, he's in the talent department. His name is the same as a kind of furniture.
Okay.
Apparently he's been impersonating Mike
Couchy?
Oh, yeah.
John Couch.
Who's he talking about?
Ottoman?
Apparently he's been impersonating, Mike Birbiglia.
Oh, Liam. Liam.
Just so he's pretending he's Birbiglia so he can get into restaurants, get reservations at restaurants in the meatpacking district.
Sure, that works. I didn't know Birbiglia had that kind of fucking swing.
Oh, yeah.
That's great.
Wow.
Proud of him.
He's big in this town.
Yeah.
I didn't think Liam would do that. I wonder if that's how he got me my tickets last night.
Where'd you go?
I went to see Less Than Jake.
And were they?
Oh, and more. Less and more.
Because I'm holding out till Jake comes to town.
Please, just come already.
Pull that, Joe.
No!
Pull that, Joe, and then just have Zito talk before it.
Or whatever his name's going to be.
Yeah. I have a feeling he's changing his name to Stanley.
It wasn't our engagement party.
What is this, by the way? Who's the party crew that you roll with now?
Okay. I hear this shit. All right. It's me, Mark Zito, who's not going to be Mark something else, Ryan Sampson from the Morning Mashup, and the saxophone player for Harry Connick Jr.
Oh, my God.
The saxophone player for Harry Connick Jr. And you guys roll. That's your new squad.
That's the squad.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Squad goals.
Yeah, I see that on Scope all the time.
Now, how did you get hooked up with these guys? Like, what happened? How are you best friends with them?
He's kicked out of his old crew.
Like, yeah, what happened? Like, how come we're not your squad?
People finally got sick of me.
Some people don't like to have their money taken every time.
and never be paid back.
Somebody would go take a piss, they come back to Bendel would be fucking 1/3 the size it was.
What happened here?
So, I forgot what even... Oh, Liam goes around telling people that he's Birbiglia, and he's getting into meatpacking restaurants.
That's right. Only restaurant, they pack meat.
Yeah. Now I'm very familiar. Except for I see Liam run for the train as soon as he can. He's a train runner.
He's out of here.
The all the Long Island guys are that way. They know what time the train leaves. I saw Keith the cop just not even do a goodbye, just burst through the door to get out because they're so frightened the train is going to leave without them.
It's the pressure must be astronomical.
Yeah, it's immense because I guess they only run so many trains and some are packed.
Yeah.
You know?
Some are express, some are local.
And you want to get a seat at the bar.
Yeah.
All right, so I don't know if I believe this Liam story, although I would not card him if he came in and said he was Birbiglia.
No.
Because he sounds like him, too. It's very strange.
Yeah, everything except for he's not funny and he has no timing. I remember when his big deal used to be he wore different color sneakers.
Really? One each? I used to do that in high school.
Yeah, exactly.
And that wasn't a read, I'm just saying. It's a nice thing to do.
Different color Vans is what he would
But what
wear.
you're saying is that he's a baby. Keep it going, Mr. Damn Man.
This one will be controversial.
Oh, boy, they all are.
So it turns out a young blonde down the hall only buys makeup that has been animal tested.
Oh my God.
That's
That's
disgusting.
terrible.
That's right-wing Lauren down the hall. I know her. First of all, her makeup looks fantastic.
She does.
And that's because the animals pay a price for it.
God, I'm going to be looking at her differently.
I'm going to look at her the same.
It's just, why not accept if it wasn't? It's just like you prefer it? You prefer that it was tested on animals.
By the way, I was walking past her desk the other day, and like, she had ant on, but was hovered over it so other people couldn't see. I bet the bosses come by, she throws a notebook up in front of it. I'm not even making that up.
Oh
that
my God.
Better than your animal testing stuff.
Maybe I should consult you about the gossip.
Yeah.
I could have given you that Vinyl District story. Apparently, it's just unbelievable right now. VinylDistrict.com, Ron and Gail Bennington, transversing the history of music via GPS.
Yeah, GPS. It's very exciting.
Yeah, I gave it to Don. He goes like this. I read the first couple paragraphs, and then I said it was great. It's a long article.
It is.
And a lot of time, at a certain point, it looks like me and you just started interviewing each other.
I don't know. What do you think?
I was reading it. We're a little too yappy.
We're chatty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to get him an edit button. We got to bring Sean in one day. Chris, why don't you,
I would love that.
Why don't you put it where that place that you don't put bookings?
I'll put it where I do book bookings.
You do book bookings?
Yeah.
I don't think you just wrote it down. I just saw you circle something.
Sean.
That's how you wrote it. He circled his name on a piece of paper.
Consider this done.
This is why you forget things.
Yeah. This is why you're stupid.
I am pretty dumb.
What else do you got for us?
Like, somebody actually just wrote this on the Twitter. Hi, Ron. Ha. Thank you for talking about my radio watching habits at work. Smiley face. And then she has a picture of a bunny that's getting sprayed in his eyes.
Oh,
Lauren!
Who does she think she is? What do you even find animal
Hey, you ought to
makeup?
let her in your squad. Who's all in the squad, real quick?
All right, Mark Zito, Ryan Sampson, saxophone player from Harry Connick Jr. Jeff is his name. Chris Stanley.
So is he going to be on the variety show?
Yeah, he is.
Oh, very cool.
Great. It is cool. Plus, being a professional sax player is... You literally can say, wait, let me bring my axe, and not be fucking ridiculous.
It's the best.
It's a sax man.
I feel like you can listen to a sax, right, in any song, and know what decade that song is being played. Because the sax backup sound changes decade by decade.
Yeah. I saw some saxing last night at Les and Jake.
Did.
Some tromboning, some saxing.
Did they open or close with their hit? What is their hit considered?
I don't think that they have a hit. I don't think that they ever had a hit.
They didn't, not even with their own fans. They don't have a most popular song.
I don't think so. I can't think of what
it was packed though. I saw the picture you sent.
Oh yeah, it was crazy. It was totally sold out. And I actually bumped into a listener there, and he gave me the sweetest gift.
What is it?
I have it here in my bag. Hold on.
What was it? The gift of knowledge?
The gift of life. So this is from Steve, who we also met at the Thanksgiving show. And he said, I know that you're a huge John Cameron Mitchell fan, a huge Hedwig fan. And this is a sugar daddy signed by John Cameron Mitchell.
Whoa! Shit. I'm going to open this up and eat it.
No!
Why?
No!
These things are delicious.
Can I share?
Looks like we've got some sugar daddies in the house tonight. You could give me a toothache. Is that the sweetest thing?
Yeah.
But did he know you were going to be there and or does he carry
He
you with him?
actually was the one who told me that the show was happening. So I went to the Thanksgiving show and he said...
I remember Thanksgiving because we were signing shirts for people and he showed his Less Than Jake.
Yeah, he has the Less Than Jake forearm tat.
Oh, man, I wish we'd have got that in time for Vinyl District. The Vinyl District interview. Call Sean back. Tell him we're ready to do the second part of our interview.
Got it.
Hey, is there a ska scene that we could ever do with him?
Gainesville, Florida, ska
right,
scene.
We're in. When life hands you gators, make Gatorade. That's what I say. Trying to get it to catch on. It's not going anywhere right now.
What about if they hand you car accidents?
The car accident is my fucking producer. He just hit a train. So it's also a derailed train. Tell that to the fucking Harry Connick sax player when you guys are fucking all fucking hide up on something.
You mean Jeff?
Jeff.
You don't even know his last name.
Nope.
Jeff the sax man.
You should just call him the big man.
You're the big man. Right, Sans, Mark Zeno.
That's your next scope. You gotta have the sax guy fucking playing sax.
Oh, no problem.
Well, I'm sure they're not going to see you until you start partying again. They certainly don't want to hang out with you for your... So you had a falling out with your squad, your old squad?
Yeah, it was just
That ended it?
Pretty much.
Because you hung out with those guys since you were like 15, right?
Yeah, dudes from high school and college.
And colleges.
It's like they're in college.
So there was just a falling out. They were sick of you.
Just done
and now
with my
you're
shit.
off with a top 40 crew.
Weird way life goes.
Why don't you ever hang with Bronx Johnny?
I see Bronx Johnny. But he's in the Bronx, though. It's
but
fucking
you
a
see
pain in
him
the
on
ass.
mic and no other time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's our time together.
Yeah, because where were we? I don't want to keep interrupting the
Well, this is
gossip.
This is some gossip. Well, there's a talent booker who keeps, let's just say, rolling
Okay.
along, and he is in I had to finish that. He's in a polyamorous relationship.
All right.
With 2 roommates that work here.
That's
and
not true.
he's becoming jealous at the amount of meals the other 2 are sharing together.
We just heard this the other day.
This is where you get your gossip.
Yeah. Who lives with them?
Oh, no, it's Christine.
She lives with them?
No, she lives with Noah, another producer here at Sirius XM.
Let me see a picture of Noah. I know that they're saying that dating it offered a sandwich, but I don't see how you get that to be, polyamorous.
That's real big fish.
Doesn't matter.
It's all the same.
Yeah. You're all the same.
You're all the same.
You're all the same.
You're all the same.
Who said anything about love?
Don't I know she said.
Is that big with you and your friends when you go
Is that
out?
when you play the top 40 hits?
Constantly. It's all
From the 80s?
That's
Oh,
not.
yeah, I see her around. She's a looker.
She's cute.
So, they're
Polyamorous,
roommates, right?
Correct, yeah.
And then you're saying that just because Roland didn't give them a sandwich, they're in a polyamorous relationship.
With him.
Yes. I got it.
That's right, because, the way to anyone's heart is to refuse them a sandwich.
Smart.
Okay.
That's smart.
Good point.
I never let any of my ladies eat at the same time as me. I keep them hungry. Ladies, you'll get your time.
You watch me.
Right now, the big dog wants to be on the bone. This would have been perfect for our vinyl district article.
God damn it.
We have that up on the Twitter if you like to check it out. Ron and Gail Bennington, transversing the history of music via GPS.
Maybe Sean can add that bit.
Yeah. Add it, Sean, please.
Make
Please.
it edit, Sean. I'm going to email him.
Make it so. That's how I like to say things. All right, you got any more gossip?
Yeah, two more, real quick.
It's a lot.
So,
A lot of gossip.
Simpsons creator Matt Groening has a restraining order against a specific Coke float loving producer here at SiriusXM, and this guy can't go within 50 feet of Mr. Groening at any time.
Is
Hey,
this true?
Floats.
Who is this?
I know who loves Coke floats.
Write it down.
Faster.
Let me see. Now, does everybody know that E-Rock loves Coke floats? I'm a big fan of E-Rock's show, by the way.
Me too. And Coke floats, by the way. So I don't think that's a weird thing to identify
Yeah.
him by. But wow,
But you
I did
that
not
for
know.
a fact, though, because he.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's,
You know,
he's
Gail
a
is a
big Simpsons fan.
Gail is a very good friend who this weekend.
Yes, Tom Sharpling is going to be a voice on The Simpsons. Tom Sharpling and John Worcester both. So it's a very exciting thing. I cannot wait to watch it.
Yeah. I know what Sharpling says, too.
What does he say?
Don't have a cow, man.
It's weird they gave him that line.
Yeah. I think he's playing the part of grown-up Bart. They're finally saying he's older.
Someone tweeted to me a couple days ago that my laugh sounds like Bart Simpson. But he was saying it as like, he's like, and I mean that as a compliment. I've never got that before, but
Let's hear it.
I don't know. I'm not sure which Bart Simpson laugh is like that, like one that sounds like,
Oh, that's good. That's good.
that's got to be the one. But
I think that when you sing, you sound like Joe Jackson.
Don't I know she said, don't you know that it's different for girls?
You look to see if he was going to grab anything. Look at him. Literally, he doesn't even have his hands on the keys. He was just down looking out the window. Don't, Chris. We're going with that. We're done. All right, so this seems like a lie.
That's up to you, but it's been confirmed.
By the way, look at the picture of Sharpling and Worcester there. They look like they're wearing lab coats. I don't want to give anything away.
I know.
But I think they work in a laboratory.
I think that they do.
Yeah.
I think that's Tom on the right.
I think so too. I already know what he's going to be saying too, because he won't on his radio show.
Right.
But he will in The Simpsons. He's going to say, "Fuck shit, Bart."
Oh, finally.
On Fox.
The raw dog's coming out.
Lauren down the hall says you need to step up your Sirius XM gossip game. It does kind of stink. I'm going to be totally honest with you. This is the worst part of the show.
She's just pissed that she's been exposed for hurting animals. She's an animal herder. It's terrible.
You got one more?
Yes.
This should be the biggie, right? This is going to save you.
It's not a huge.
It's got to be the big.
It's all right. I'll pretend it's up. Yeah.
It's got to be the mind blower.
So a recurring on-demand guest on Smoking with Chris.
Okay.
Wears glasses, but that's not the interesting part.
It is to me.
He also has a glass eye.
What? Is that what?
I don't know who it is.
Hey, someone saw him take it out, polish it, put it back in.
Polish it. Make it nice and shiny.
Because it's the 1890s.
Where's my eyeball polish?
And we still use glass eyes.
This is freakish.
There you
Have you noticed it,
There's
Chris,
a lot.
during Smoking with Chris?
No.
You ever know, you looking in one eye or the other when you lock eyes with them?
It's a dead eye. I'm always just trying to make eye contact, make people feel comfortable on there.
There's an article up on the iBang about Horace and Pete.
Yeah, Louis C.K. Finally started talking. Like, actually, this is the first time he's talked about Horace and Pete, not in his emails. Because that's the only time he's ever addressed it.
Favorite Horace and Pete actor right now?
Metcalf.
Alan Alda.
I think Metcalf was amazing, but it was just that one thing.
Yeah.
Alda's always amazing.
Yeah.
But also, I like him less now because he's such a terrible person. I like the actual him less.
You
now.
think that this is his real personality?
I know it is.
He did too well.
No one is that good of a
But the Metcalf episode was, I think, my favorite one so far. I loved that episode.
I would agree with you. I'm going to agree with you. I know Chris won't.
No.
Why
there
won't
wasn't
you?
any beer in that episode.
No, I'm looking for them to sling some drinks. That's what I want to see with Horace and Pete.
But Alan Alda does have the last line in it. So at least you have a little taste.
Yeah, but I need more Alda.
Yeah.
You need Alda.
I need a prequel called Uncle Pete's.
He needs it all the time. I want my Alan all the time. You know why, Bobo?
That's the thing, boo-boo.
When I find myself locked up like this, there's two things that come to mind.
I walked in with 2 chains. I walked out with 2 chains.
I guess he's still in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not, I mean,
He's not ever getting them now?
all the guns and weed and priors.
Lawyers, guns, and money. What are you? The whole point was not to have you type over there, right?
Yeah.
You tap your thick fingers again.
He had to move it out of his way. I can't stop myself. I'm obsessed.
I don't have the restraint. So far, all Vito's done is hit shift. Feels like he's done for the day. What about you? You ever see yourself as a board guy and then we put Joe over there?
I can try the board.
Try. That's the thing that... You know what I mean? I know it's not you anymore. You're special assignments. But I don't know what to do with,
You want a swap day with the two of them?
What I'm trying to say is, how many right fields do I have?
Mm-hmm.
I only got the one right field. Thank you, Dan. You know what I like about Dan? He doesn't care if anyone else is at discomfort. He's like, that was fucking great. Tied in with Little League.
That's what makes his gossip so ruthless, It's that type of attitude that he has.
I'm trying not to look at a guy that, in my mind, I see as Asian Jeff Appeloff. I'm just letting it go by, but it's driving me crazy. A guy outside.
Him too well. Very subtle, Dan.
Yeah, they just started running points. That dude,
that guy right there.
That dude.
Oh man, I haven't seen Jeff Appeloff in a long
years. He looks the same though.
Yeah, he does.
Either that or he's using an old picture. Handsome man.
Yeah, very handsome
man, and filled with life. Always had
Sweet
a lot
guy.
of life. Yeah, always was a guy who came in and says, "How can I make the room better? What do I got to do for the room?" Why is Hey Donnelly a big thing right now?
Because it's just it's jumping on top of the Damn Daniel piece.
Do you understand? I don't know what Damn Daniel is.
Oh God.
You don't know what Damn Daniel is?
No. Why would I?
Damn Daniel.
What? Let me say it.
Bring up Damn Daniel. This became like 2 weeks ago. This was a gigantic meme.
Where was I at?
It got passed around everywhere.
Everywhere.
Not one person passed it to me.
Because I knew better, Ron.
Well, I'll say this. I never see a forward from you, Brick. Were you sending him out to Harry Connick's fucking sax player?
No, we don't email.
Damn, Daniel. Damn, Daniel. Damn, Daniel. Damn, Daniel. Back at it again with the white van. Damn, Daniel. Damn, Daniel. Damn, Daniel. Damn, Daniel. Damn, Daniel. Back at it again with the white vans.
Wow, seriously. Why am I watching this?
There's no point to it. There's no reason. It's very strange that it went viral. I'm not sure why it did. All I know is when I saw the video, I was like, this is pointless. That is so dumb. And then 5 minutes later, it was just so stuck in my head and I couldn't stop thinking, damn, Daniel. I don't want to think that. It just pops in.
They put him on Ellen and she gave him a lifetime supply of vans.
Ellen gave him a lifetime. I didn't even know that it went that far.
Yeah, I was introduced to this story in the context of that Daniel was now receiving like death threats and stuff.
And yeah, now he's also getting death threats. Young Daniel.
Hey, I just got some gossip from Eric Nagel. What blonde coordinator is going around telling everyone that they're being gossiped about on the Bennington show?
It's perfect.
Pogue says his gossip game does suck balls, but shame on Lauren.
Yeah. Bad person.
Christina said she would join your squad if you dropped those other folks. They'll never drop those guys.
Most likely they drop me, is what the squads happen.
Do you make viral videos with your squad like Damn Daniel?
No, we haven't made a Damn Daniel video yet.
Oh, by the way, that was Liz Sets Fire who said that first. Then I got passed around.
I haven't made a Hey Donnelly yet.
Let's see that one.
You can't play the whole thing because it's even longer.
What are we doing today, Donnelly?
I'm gonna have fast.
Hey, Donnelly, what are we going to do?
Beers, learn how to swim.
Okay. Hey, Donnelly, what are we doing right now?
Learn how to bodyboard.
Okay. Hey, Donnelly, what are we doing today?
Digging a hole.
Okay. Hey, Donnelly, what are we doing?
Gonna get some wings.
Okay.
let's stop it for a second. Why would that be ripping off Hey Daniel? It's nothing like it.
It's a guy with a catchphrase and just shooting his buddy.
A guy with a catchphrase is the only thing that you can do in this, and there's two guys in this.
Yeah, but Damn Daniel, the guy who says Damn Daniel, he's the second guy. So it's him and Daniel. So this is just the same thing as they're trying to go for, like, every day I make a little, like, 3-second clip, and it's redundant. It's too Damn Daniel. We already have one Damn Daniel.
To me, I like Donnelly 10 times better than Daniel.
I hate Donnelly.
Because it's got a Gomer Pyle thing going on right now. You know?
Okay.
I thought I was doing Sling Blade.
They're in the military, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I was.
Okay. They got it. We're all doing it already.
What about Damn Daniel? That's over now?
That's 2 weeks ago.
Back at it again with the white vans.
That's as old as Dos Equis. You know what I mean? It's not happening.
See, that's my problem. I get into one, I'm not ready to move on.
I think Daniel's going to be the new most interesting man in the world. I think that's what's going to happen.
I think the kid's going to get a pimple and nobody will pay attention to him again.
Back at it again with the Dos Equis.
Daniel, you're fucking average.
Put some Donnelly on for me. What'd you think? Come on, put some Donnelly on.
Get Don on.
Okay. Hey, Donnelly, what are we doing today?
On the field.
Okay.
I'm not taking one.
Hey, Donnelly, what are we doing today?
Waiting to get some sleep.
Okay. Hey, Donnelly, what are we doing right now?
Right now, PRB.
Okay.
Let me just say this. Anyone who doesn't support Donnelly doesn't support the troops, i.e. then is helping ISIS.
I don't support Donnelly.
Or the troops.
Say it, Chris.
I'm not going to say
that. Just say it. Just say the phrase, I don't support the troops.
Yeah, and you also told me that the troops ruined the war. It would be better with no troops.
You keep saying you just want drone wars.
And then he also says he hates the American flag because it throws shade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
literal
shade. I don't need that. I like the sun. Also, some article about Dan Daniel that revealed how old he was, and then it was a bunch of like women saying that.
So many women's. So many women's been saying.
Now, women's today, let it go chopping. Am I right, boys? No, lady, let it go chopping. Where my plus size ladies at?
Why did you just say women's?
He's a
so many women.
Talking about how they feel bad now. They feel like pedophiles because he's like 14 years old. He's very
Damn,
creepy.
Daniel's 14.
But you saw that he was at school.
But they were like, I thought he was like 17. I thought
still fucking underage.
That's not better.
Like, now I feel bad, but he's still hot.
Women's today like I'm young. Now where all them plus size ladies at?
Ow!
Yeah, get your big ass up and dancing.
Show it off.
Who you doing, Donnelly?
Wish.
Oh.
No, you know I'm a Damn Daniel guy.
I thought you hated Damn Daniel.
No, but now Donnelly's made me like Damn Daniel. My hate for Donnelly is turning to love for Damn Daniel.
I thought you were saying you hated them both.
No, if I gotta choose one, it's Damn Daniel. It's the fucking original, dude. The kid's good looking. Look
and
at
he
him.
is back at it again with the white van.
There's a lot of people complaining that you never put Dennis Falcone in your gossip.
I think he was in the first one, wasn't he?
You know what? You're not his defense lawyer. Let him speak up. You know
Gail
what?
is actually my counsel.
Yeah, you know what? He's a big boy. He can speak for himself.
All right, go ahead.
Well, you know what? The whole goal of this, was to remain anonymous while still spilling the juice.
Jews?
Not Jews. Juice.
Oh. You mean coming when you say spilling?
No.
That's how you say coming?
I was not saying that was not the implication, but
I got
Janet?
some gossip. And the man says spilling the juice when he comes.
I'm going straight to HR on this one.
It was implied by some that one of the gossip tidbits from last week did apply to Dennis.
Well, it was over my head then. I already forgot last week's gossip. I'll tell you this: the next time you do it, I want it to be at least 2.5, 3 hours long. You know, let's do one more.
I'm going to ruin some marriages. Gonna, just
you couldn't
expose that.
Place, right? This fucking place is open marriage central.
A lot of swingers here.
Yeah, this place swings.
A lot of swingers.
Big time.
Gus, Ohio. Gus, we got you, buddy?
There?
Yeah, go ahead, pal.
Hey, you guys are missing the obvious on that damn Daniel. It sounds like Forrest Gump, Lieutenant Dan. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a different. See, they got confused. People are already thinking Donovan is Daniel.
No,
Donnelly,
it's Donnelly.
yeah.
We did everything we needed to do. We confused the internet today.
Fucking Donnelly.
Let's take a break, all right? Try to regroup, get our shit together. Dan, you've done it again.
You really
you just
have.
whipped it up. I'll say this, though. A lot of your work seems to be 36th floor based and not a 7.
Next
37.
one, we'll hit 37 harder.
Yeah, we don't even have to know the people to hear the gossip, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
It could be gossip about people we don't know.
I'd like to hear some gossip about Janet from HR.
I don't know.
It's like there's something there. There's something there about her.
Sure. HR. There's a lot of mysterious things.
Here's what you
going
need
on.
to do: go through waste paper basket, break into computers.
Go deep.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty.
Hit the dumpster.
What's that mean?
Go in the garbage.
Oh, I thought that meant anal.
Not like no.
I thought when you said hit the
It's hard
dumpster.
to keep up with all his slang.
The dumpster. Spill the juice.
You didn't spill the juice in the dumpster?
Hey, did you
Oh my God!
spill the juice in her? Is that it?
Damn.
You know what is going to work too? Growing a thick mustache for this. So, all right. Next time we see you, a really thick mustache. Fake mustache until you get the real one.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Okay.
Stop it. It's this Donnelly thing that's getting too out of hand.
Donnelly thing is so fucking great.
No, it's damn Daniel. Damn Daniel.
All right, Chris, what you doing?
Okay.
No, you don't
No,
say
you don't say
You know
okay.
what you're fucking doing, you moron. Look, car accident.
Car accident.
Right back, Bennington.
They see me scrolling, they hating. I'm posting, they trying to catch me walking birdie. 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 The street is so loud. He's sitting, he's running. They gon' catch me walking birdie. Trying to 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 catch me walking birdie. Dog catcher's trying to see me lean, but I don't mind. Birdie's on a leash. When she squats down, I can see her knees start to give out, then she has to pee. Walking down the street, she like, hold up, Birdie's got a shit. I'm like, oh fuck, I don't got a bag, nothing to hold it. So we just dip just like a boss. Birdie got distracted and wouldn't move. You ain't know I'm crazy like rabies would. When the dog came up and attacked my jewels, Birdie came with that ass like Lassie would. Psych sent that ass in front of the whole neighborhood. Now I'm waiting for Miss Ruth to quit rubbing her head so I can get a move. Psych. They see me scrolling, they hating. I'm posting, they trying to catch me walking birdie. 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 The street is so loud. He's sitting, he's running. They gon' catch me walking birdie. Trying to 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 catch me walking birdie.
Bass isn't his range.
Yeah.
It's the Bennington Show. Walking Birdie. Little song about Gail's dog.
Yep.
Done by our own Joey Jojo, who actually spits much better than he sings.
Yeah, he definitely does.
Well, I had a list growing up, so I'm quite used to it.
But why aren't you doing original songs?
I guess I haven't found my muse yet.
Charlie is your muse.
Yeah.
True, I'll write one about Charlie and my squad.
Hey, it's the Bennington Show. A lot going on today. First of all, you can go out and check out the article on GPS, the music show that Gail and I do.
That's right. It's on vinyldistrict.com. Ron and Gail Bennington traversing the history of music via GPS.
And during this, you'll hear me say many kind things about the executive producer, Chris Stanley.
Yes.
Gets mentioned in there, but particularly a guy named Jamban who,
Kills it for us.
yeah,
You know,
he's in the front lines.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big time. He's our research man. He's got the facts.
Who do you think has found the coolest songs yet? I'm going to nominate myself. I don't even have any trouble.
Yeah, I
don't have any problem doing that.
I think that you're obviously the best at finding the
That's
songs.
the thing. You know why? I put more time into it than you and Jim.
No, that's not true.
You're like, find me the hits. Where's Billboard from that year?
That is not true.
It's true. I'm the executive producer. Yeah, I see it, Ron. And yeah, you do find the best music. Thank
you.
Then I nominate myself a second.
No, you're last. You're dead last.
Matter of fact, you're also the worst person to know whether that the music is set up or not.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Think about that, Chris.
Or if there's a good read.
While you're briggity bragging.
Here's my thing of Chris on any, voiceover. Perfect. We got it. Perfect. Don't need to do anything else.
Another one take, Ron.
One time I was actually hacking on a fucking chicken bone. Got it, boss.
You want the hacks in, right?
Love it when you eat the mic. Love it. There's something there was a news item that made me mad at you two yesterday. That was the feeling of relief of people who found out it wasn't George R.R. Martin who died, but just Sir George Martin from the Beatles. This is where we are in the world. Dragons have replaced the Beatles.
I don't think that I wouldn't be happy for anyone passing away, but it wasn't that I was afraid that it was him. It's just for some reason it was the first thing that popped into my mind. I was also in the shower. It was very loud.
Any fucking monkey with a crayon could write one of these Lord of the Ring ripoffs that you guys watch every week.
Well, from what I've heard, and Chris will have to confirm because I have not read the books, that the show is actually much better than the books. That's what I hear.
Oh, shit.
The show is better than the books.
Oh, shit.
Fucking, the books are just insane. And he is going to die before the next book gets written. And he had to write a live journal post because that's the only social media he uses to say that.
I didn't even know that was still a thing.
Yeah, he's the last person using live journal.
I'm on it.
You got an LJ?
Oh, yeah.
He writes about the Giants and he gives updates on his writing. And he's like, yeah, I've been going to many conventions and parties to be writing.
Now, is it the New York Giants or San Francisco Giants?
New York Giants.
You got to say the New York Football Giants so people know who you're talking about.
He's a New York Football Giants fan.
Jeff, Buffalo.
Hey, Ron, I love your show.
Yeah, it's great.
George Martin, I wanted to get your thoughts on him. I always think that he, for being probably 15 or 20 years older than the guys in the Beatles, was able to piece together some of the most adventurous arrangements and weirdest songs, and I don't know how he related so well to the kids.
Well, you're saying, he was... Well, all right, let's figure it out. He's 90 now, right? So he would have been, 40 in the 60s? Is that it? In 66?
Yeah, probably right around there.
So, yeah, there he was in his late 30s. But if the Beatles didn't have them, I still think that they'd have their early Beatles sound. But would they have had that person to take them into Sgt. Pepper? And it kind of seems doubtful, for all the love given to Brian Wilson, right?
Right. And you don't hear many people talk about that George Martin role.
Look, let me tell you something. These two gangbangers were fucking happy it wasn't the guy who writes about dragons. I think George Martin is easily one of the most important of all time. And here's the other interesting thing about it. This was not a great live band, right? So if you were going to if you're going to give credit to whoever produced Guns N' Roses or Nirvana or Led Zeppelin, you have to remember they had a fully formed great live band. No one knows how the Beatles would have done this music live.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
Thank you.
And
I don't even know if they were super interested in trying to do it live once they fell in love with him helping produce these crazy albums.
Yeah. There was they thought everyone was just going to scream when they went out again. And now, you know what? You can't keep Paul off the stage. Paul's been on an endless tour for the last 10 years.
Trying to get into Tyga's party.
Well, let him enjoy himself. But yes, I'm going to send you into the Pretty Good Prize Closet because you're giving this some thought, where my own staff
thanks, Ron.
and the rest of the listeners have done zero on it. So,
thanks so much, Ron. I absolutely love the
It's
show.
the pretty good.
thank you.
It's the pretty good prize closet. We have pretty good prizes. It's the pretty good prize. It's the pretty good prize closet. We have good prizes. Jeff, you win the signed CD, Straight Shooter Bad Company, signed by Paul Rogers.
Oh, very nice.
I thought they was going to get a sugar daddy signed by.
No, that is not.
That's
to
going
give
in.
out.
That's going in the pretty good prize closet.
Flies?
Flies, cuz. Let me tell you something. Do you see the way that he slammed on my caller? Like, all of a sudden the music popped up while Jeff and I were still talking?
Mm-hmm.
That's my producer. John Lennon had fucking George Martin. Look what I got. I got you. You're not even a wartime consigliere. Look at Clinton getting yelled at.
Good.
What's happening?
She felt the burn last night.
Oh, yeah. She got burnt.
Bernie should just pull a gun on one of these things, and not like pointing at anyone.
Dude, you can't
Chris,
talk
what
this
are you
way
saying?
without the Secret Service showing up.
Okay.
Why would you say something like that,
You're
Chris?
a fucking straight maroon. If something violent happens, they'll drag it back to you.
Oh, shit.
And I will go into court and swear that that was your intention the entire time. I'll say this man was calling for revolution against the federal government of the United States of America.
No, I wasn't. Everything's on the up and up.
Doesn't make sense. I'm telling you.
Just a scenario I thought of inside my
That
head.
clip will be used against you.
You know what I thought of scenarios like that? Son of Sam.
Oh, shit. Well, no
You
dog
should be
talk.
nephew of Sam. Yeah, you're the dog talking. Hey, Joe. Thanks, bro. Me and Chris were talking. You didn't come slamming the music down on top of us, try to crush our bones.
Anytime, guys.
Are we about to go into the prize closet?
You know, Gail, you know what? You need to run this team a little better instead of going out to Less Than Jake every
I know.
goddamn
I
night.
didn't realize. I just wanted to have one night to myself.
They're the opposite of the Beatles. They're great live, but on albums, not so much. Actually, I would say that about Jay Giles' band.
Really?
I thought Jay Giles' band was the greatest live band I ever saw. But any of their studio albums, I never thought they captured it.
Really? I bet your Fish Bros are kind of like
Yeah.
that.
I guess they feel the same way.
Yeah, the Fish fans hate any of the studio albums.
Grateful Dead was always the same way, that
Yeah.
they felt like they never captured that sound. So, of course, Fish had to rip that off as well.
Hey, look, it's just a jam band. That's all. And unlike jam band, I know more than 2 Fish songs. I'm not some poser in there wearing a Grateful Dead t-shirt. I'm just listening to Dan, man.
David in Tennessee.
Hey, Ronnie, what's up, buddy?
What do you say?
So I'm not certain that George Harrison or Paul McCartney knew how to get that sound. They tried, and they ended up getting Jeff Lynne, who, you know, George Martin's his hero, and they used him later in the '80s on their albums and got back to that sound they used to use. And in my opinion, made their best. Well, not their best, but certainly different sounding album solo.
Yeah, I don't think that. I think George's first solo album is not only the best of the post-Beatles stuff, but the best thing that he's ever been involved in.
Yeah.
Period. And I'm willing to say that to any fucking Beatlemaniac. And they are. They're fucking
I'm not going to fight
maniacs.
you on it.
They're crazy. They can't be stopped.
Has any other band had a nutty? I mean, the Kiss Army would still be afraid of the Beatlemaniacs. Do you have a favorite era of the Beatles?
I don't know. I really like a lot of the early Beatles stuff. Like, I like kind of the sweet poppy Beatles a lot.
Mm-hmm. After they took off the leather and put on the suits?
Yeah.
What about you, Chris?
The Sgt. Pepper's era.
I kind of like Burnout. Our beards have gotten enormous. I mean, someone said before that the Beatles were as if New Kids on the Block would have evolved into Radiohead, right? I think it's even more extreme than that, though.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's even a weirder transition. And when you could see, like, even that Sgt. Pepper thing was only about a year and a half, 2 years before you just see these enormous beards and these exhausted-looking guys in their mid-20s.
Yeah, how did that happen?
Like a Martin pushing the shit out of them. You know, when you got to come up with just album, you know, you write a classic album, and then the next day, after it's, you know, you've got to put together another classic album in 4 months. Got crazy. They must have been out of their fucking minds. Those Beatlemaniacs.
They were sick. They're sick people.
Can't you see you took everything from them?
Yeah. Well, they said that Charlie was pretty rough on him, you know, on the Manson thing. Like taking your songs and hacking people up while you're listening to it, you know?
Yeah, that probably is
Isn't
not
a sick
so.
fuck laughing.
Why do you
You're
laugh at
laughing
weird?
over the Tate LaBianca murders. You understand how sick that makes you look right now?
So far removed from it.
But why? But why, Chris?
All right, hold on. This is
Charlie.
Daniel in Iowa. It's the Spy Report.
Afternoon, Bennington, Spy Report.
Thank you for saying it. No one else will. Go ahead.
Rumors has it that Mike Ditka is out at ESPN over his public endorsement of Donald T. Rump, going to be replaced with recently retired quarterback Matt Hasselbeck.
Now, first of all, you're going to drop Ditka for being a Republican and then bring in Elizabeth Hasselbeck to...
Matt Hasselbeck.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Same thing.
Fucking crazy. You know, it is time that ESPN brought the hassle back. That's how I would try to sell
I'm
it.
bringing hassle back.
Well, let's face it. That fucking Ditka barely moves on that show. He's almost the veto of that show. You know, I want to see some movement out of you.
I got a story up right here. Ditka.
Listen how slow he's going.
See, maybe that's what it is. He's just so fast we don't see it done.
He's off NFL countdown, but extended his contract by 2 years. So he's got a 2-year contract doing nothing.
He's just hanging out?
Ditka. I'm Ditka.
I feel like that guy's looked the same my whole life. He doesn't look any different.
I was raised to hate that man.
I
don't know why. Just from when he was a ball player. My dad and uncle always called him the crybaby. They said every time he got tackled, he came up crying and pointing at somebody. They couldn't stand him. What are you saying? Oh, come on. Are you running down my family now, Chris?
No, I'm saying what the fuck is Ditz's problem?
Okay, yeah, I think you caught yourself and jumped. Hey, Kyle, what's up, buddy?
Hey, guys. George Martin. Let me ask you something, Ronnie. You're a big music dude. Was he the greatest actual producer? Like, you listen to a song like A Day in the Life, and there's so much wonderful production behind that, whereas most producers, they'll just make a song better for a band. He actually produced.
I mean, you could really even say that he was writing all that music. He was, you know, he could have easily been considered a co-writer on most of those songs. So those young boys had no idea how to do that.
Also, how much of it is him taking the egos of those dudes, especially Paul and John, and being able to bring them together to remember, hey, we got to make great music still?
You know, he had them off writing in separate rooms and then coming back to write. And there was something like one day I saw this thing that somebody didn't, you know, show up by 11 o'clock and they went over to his house. And like, dude, you know, we're working. And, you know, just thinking like, we're making money. We're young. You know, I think a lot of people can understand my ambition stops the second my wallet gets fat. I mean, the second that happens.
I got it. Got what I needed.
I am not working hard anymore. I'm not going to keep pushing myself.
Hey, Ronnie.
Yeah.
I want to tell you and Gail, GPS this weekend was fantastic.
Oh, that means a lot coming from you, dude. Because
and I live in LA, dude.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, the best break was I agree with you, it was the Captain Beefheart, Frank Zappa break.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That first Zappa album, Freak Out, the Mothers of Invention album,
yeah,
is so good, dude. Like, you listen to that record, it still holds up today.
You know what's funny? I hadn't gone back and listened to it for a while, and we wanted to catch something from the 60s with him, not later. So I went back all through it. And then, of course, Jam Band is the one who made the catch on the other one, which was great, man.
He's so good.
I love that break. I love that fucking break.
It was so good. Did you also know this little that Frank Zappa's Freak Out album was the first ever debut double LP?
I didn't know that.
I didn't.
And the first ever double LP was put out 2 weeks earlier. It was Blonde on Blonde by Bob Dylan.
Uh-huh.
And Zappa's was his first debut, which is nothing we've ever seen.
Insane.
It's crazy.
That is insane. All right, thanks for that, dude.
All right, dudes. Have a good day, guys. You guys kick ass.
Peace. I think, have we decided on the next GPS? Have we definitely decided?
I feel like it's pretty locked in.
Okay. By the way, if you want to read about the show, vinyldistrict.com.
Ron and Gail Bennington traversing the history of music via GPS. Very exciting.
Sean contacted us, put it all together, and quite frankly, I would have helped him edit. I thought he gave us way too much credit on that. That's the thing about the internet is, okay, keep going if you want to.
It was a lengthy article.
Yeah, if it was a magazine, you got to take it back down again.
But I was very excited to see it. It was a very big deal. Big
You
deal
liked
for me.
that? Well, you got that. You had your Less Than Jake show.
Oh, yeah.
Life is good for you.
I got my sugar daddy, thanks to Steve, or Steve.
Is this JR? There's something weird with the things today on my side. That I can't always see.
Your mouse?
Yeah, no, I just can't see the whole first name all the time. JR in Kentucky, is that you, buddy?
Yeah, hey, Ron.
Hey, man.
I'll probably vote for him. I don't want to make fun of him if he makes it. But do you think Ted Cruz looks a little bit like Bill Murray?
Let's take a good look at him. I mean, he could look somewhat like a Murray brother. I don't think he looks like Bill. And I can't imagine those guys hanging out together.
No. If he was a Murray brother, I don't think he would be
Maybe
well
one
liked.
of the unacting ones. But you think you might vote for him, huh, JR?
Yeah, I'm down South Kentucky. I'm a Republican. I'll back Trump if he makes it, but I lean a little bit more towards Cruz.
I can't. I'm now starting to think that Trump won't make it, that the hate for him is so brutal.
Well, that happens sometimes when you do too well early on, that eventually it's just going to burn out.
I just don't think you'll get the Christian vote in the South because I don't really think too many people think.
Can I tell you something, dude?
Yes.
I could run a lamp on the Republican ticket and win down south. You guys, the Southern Christian vote, you sweep the South and you lose the North and the West. And it's going to cause you another election. You had the Mitt Romney last time, and he couldn't win any of the places that he needed to win. Look, a Democrat is always going to win the Northeast. That's a done deal. Maybe not this time if Trump runs. There's a lot of talk that maybe he could win New York or Jersey or Pennsylvania, which would be unbelievably big. I don't think the Republicans have had that since Reagan. I think you got to go back to Reagan.
My main issue is gun rights, but I do agree with you that I think the North and the South should be governed by two different people. I think it's too big to compare now.
I'll tell you something else, JR. I don't think you're ever going to have a problem with gun rights in your life. There's just too many people that want it.
Hillary scares me. I build assault rifles and AK-47s and stuff like that. And Hillary scares me, Ron. I think she'll get the Brady bill like her husband got in and back in effect.
Yeah, I just don't think that they have the power to do that. I just think that you'll be shooting stuff up the rest of your life and enjoying yourself. Hey, JR, thanks for calling us, buddy.
All right, thank you.
All right, take care. Ted Cruz down in Florida. This Florida is just fascinating, man. If you're a fan of this stuff, I will say I could never picture myself voting for a Ted Cruz. Donald Trump doesn't scare me the way he scares a lot of other people. I don't think the other two guys have a shot. And if the Republicans jump into this thing and don't give it to the top vote getter, I think that could be one of the craziest weeks in the history of the Republic.
Oh, I think it would be total mayhem. I don't think that they would be able to pull it off and keep looking legitimate as a party.
Right.
I don't think that you could steal the election away from the popular vote that way, or the nomination.
I'm telling you right now, you might have to look at this with the Democrats as Hillary stealing it away. Heard that crazy super delegate thing. Anytime that you're out of the South, Bernie wins. Anytime that you're down South, Hillary wins.
Right.
Hillary ain't going to take any of those fucking states in the South. Not one of the things that she's gaining on. So that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But people are not letting go Bernie Sanders. As shocked as I am about Donald Trump, I may be at least as shocked as how Bernie Sanders has pumped people up. What's weird is I'm not one of them. I'm too burnt out from 8 years ago to get pumped up and hopeful again.
Yeah. It makes it difficult if you've experienced it before where you backed somebody, thought that this was the answer, and then you realize either that they're not the person you thought they were or the system is just too big.
I think it's the system.
You know, for one person to make a massive difference. But I would agree that the Bernie Sanders, him taking Michigan, I thought was a
phenomenal
win and was pretty shocking.
By the
And
way,
it speaks volumes because everybody's voting with the Flint issue in mind, with the issue with the water. So,
but this is the most interesting part of it. You take a Nate Silver, who we all acted like was a genius, and he looks like he's got a baseball bat up his ass this time. They had Bernie losing Michigan by 10 points that day.
Yeah.
That fucking day. There's just these huge, and Trump never wins as much as as the polls say. So even when he wins, they're like, he's up by 12 in Florida. You're like, I just don't trust it. I don't fucking trust the polls this year.
Yeah, especially after that Michigan one. That was such a shock. I was not expecting that at all.
Did you stay up with it? Did you watch into the night?
I didn't watch into the night.
It was so fucking close. It was unbelievable. It was so crazy close. And then this also kills me. Rubio was winning in some of these states, like 8,000 votes is all he was getting. 10,000. You're like a band could come to town and fucking crush you.
Right.
You know what I mean? What? How are you spending money if you're just getting 4,000 votes in the state or 9,000? Rubio is fascinating. This thing that you could study forever. So, remember when Rubio started out Trump, said he had a small dick, said he pissed himself, said that his fucking hair looked like cotton candy, said that he thought he and his kids got in a circle jerk when nobody was around. I mean, he said some awful things.
Yeah, some really harsh things.
Yeah, and he says, he said that Trump was eating shit out of a toilet after Paul O'Neill left. I mean, stuff that you don't expect to hear. Well, the crowd was going crazy for him, right? They were loving it. The media was going crazy for him. And his fucking numbers dropped like a rock. I mean, he hasn't had a good day since the day that he got good press and good feedback.
Oh.
Everything fucked up for him. And now he says, I wish I never saw that. My kids came to me and told me to stop talking that way. No, the kids didn't. You saw the fucking votes. Now, what got to people, I think, with that is, it's not so much that he said that stuff, is that they know that wasn't him, or if that really was him, then the other person wasn't him.
Exactly. That,
we know that Trump is just a dick. We get it. It doesn't scare me. It scares some people.
Yeah, that's clearly his personality. You can't really change it. Even when he lies, it's still within his own character. Like, you can tell the way he says things, he's going to manipulate it the way he does. But Rubio, that was an entirely different person that showed up out of nowhere.
Right. We don't know who the puppet and who the puppeteer was. And everyone just freaked and just stopped voting for him. And they're acting like his career could be over if he doesn't win Florida. Is that he might be unelectable.
Yeah.
I think sometimes time, takes care of stuff.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people sitting around wondering how Dick Gephardt did in his fucking campaign. There's just names that seem big and you forget them.
Yeah.
Here's Scott in Jersey.
Hey, what's up, gang?
Hey.
I was just thinking about Hillary and Bernie. The Democrats can't run Bernie. Hillary's sitting on the $1 billion. Bernie isn't. There's no money to finance a campaign.
Dude, he has spent more money than Hillary, and he's raising more money than Hillary. all at $27 a piece. The money that's coming in from regular people for
Yeah.
Bernie is fascinating.
Although you could say the same thing on the Trump side. Will the big Republican super PAC money get spent on Trump? Because they don't like him.
They hate him. I'm shocked how much they hate him.
I guess what they hate Cruz too.
Yeah, but I think they hate Cruz less, but they're not
Maybe,
running
yeah.
to him, you know? And he's like, come to me. And they're like, I don't know. It's so creepy.
But either side stands the threat of big money not wanting to commit behind either one of the people that are running.
Right.
It'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
Well, it's weird because Cruz he's under 100 delegates behind Trump. It seems like he's about to just jump all over it.
Yeah, and I think in some ways, if you're looking at the media, it seems like it's a bigger difference, but it's not. It's actually a lot closer than you realize, which is Cruz and Trump.
No, it's a gigantic difference. There's no way that fucking Cruz can get close to this now.
You don't think
there's no way that he can win enough delegates that he walks in and it's his convention. And what is he going to do? Win the northern states? I'll be shocked if that happens.
Yeah, I think you're right that he can't win the northern states, but I do think he's doing better than I thought he was.
Oh, yeah, he's running an unbelievable campaign, but most of that shit is from caucuses, too.
Right.
That he has. I mean, the best state that he had is his own. You know? I don't even think Rubio can pull that off. And I'm telling you right now, I think that the Clintons thought that they had a soup can that they were running against. You know what I mean? I thought that they thought that they were going to bring a broom into the ring and just sweep it around for a while, but they're shocked. And the media's shocked. They had given this to Hillary a couple weeks back.
Yeah, they weren't even talking about Bernie in a serious way for a long time.
That's because he can't win down south.
Yeah.
And that made him think that he was weak everywhere, but he's just weak down south. I don't know what's going to happen. I tell you this, I think this time we are going to get the president we deserve, though, as a country.
No matter what.
Yeah, no matter what happens, this next president will reflect what it's like to live in the United States of America right now.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be right back. This is Bennington. Bennington Show. Hi, everybody. If you're just tuning in right now, you've missed probably the best 2 hours of radio that have ever been done by human beings on the planet Earth. Hi, I'm Ron Bennington from Radio Sirius XM. With me today, my guest, Gail Bennington.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah. Well, it's your mom that had you. But I did support her through it out. But I kept saying, are you sure? It's not too late.
Hey!
It's not too late. We're all excited because, well, there's actually a couple of Unmasked coming up. First one, you get a free signed book. Great book. And it's going to be a great night out in New York City, so if you can make it, come on in.
Come on down to Bonnie McFarlane Unmasked is happening Tuesday, March 15th at 8 p.m. at the Village Underground in New York City. Everyone's going to get the free book. We're going to do a little signing with Bonnie afterwards, so go to theinterrobang.com for free tickets.
I think she's only going to write, how do you like the free book?
Enjoy this freebie.
Yeah, you got this. But she might talk about her new special parallel thinking that's making its rounds around. And then also, if you're available in the daytime, Chris Stanley, you got something lined up for next week as well, right?
Yeah, for Wednesday, March 16th at 2 p.m. That's going to be Unmasked with Carrot Top.
It's not just unmasked, it's unpropped. No props.
Oh, prop free?
Well, he won't have any props. I might have a couple.
You'll give him props, as in respect.
Well, I have a trumpet tied to a hot water bottle. And then my joke is, you never see this! And I just chuck it. This doesn't go together! All right, so it's Carrot Top. Now, the only way Chris has set up his own thing for himself.
Yeah, you have to email carrottopunmasked@gmail.com to get tickets to Carrot Top Unmasked, which is happening next Wednesday, March 16th at 2 p.m. at SiriusXM Studios.
And his eyebrows are on fleek, ladies and gentlemen.
Man can't even throw shade. His eyebrows are so on fleek. That's Carrot Top Unmasked at gmail.com. Email that email address for tickets.
Eric, back in old Kentucky, how are you?
Hey, good, guys. How's everybody doing?
We're real cool.
Dude, Blue Apron. I got another one of your listeners, shout out to Brandon Garrett, sent me the free trial of Blue Apron. I've been hearing you guys talk about this for a long time. I haven't jumped in because I consider myself a pretty good cook. I thought I was a great cook. I was not a great cook. I'm only an okay cook. But he's got me set up on this thing, man, and we love it. We will absolutely be continuing beyond the trial. I mean, it's incredible. I couldn't even believe how good it was.
You can't be a great cook without great ingredients, so that's the cool thing about it. You get really great ingredients, but I love it so much. Now I can't even remember life before it.
Yeah, it's so...
Yeah, man, and you mentioned the great ingredients. I mean, that's the great thing about it is, I've cooked with demi-glace, making pan sauces and shit before, but, you got to work to find those things, at least where I live. I mean, and then I end up paying $8 for a big chunk of demi-glace that I end up wasting half of it, never using the rest of it. And, for almost that same price, it's perfectly measured, the whole meal. I mean, it's so easy. It's quick during the week, when you don't want to spend the time doing the prep. And the food is, it's fantastic. I just cannot get over how good it is.
That's great to hear you. I'm glad you enjoyed it, my friend. We got to start like a little Blue Apron crew because we all, Gail and I had been on doing this for years before they even started sponsoring anything.
I have a good name for the crew.
What's that?
Crew Apron.
I like that somehow. I wanted to do hairless chimpanzees. Now, I know that you get gnarled out quickly.
Mm-hmm.
There's a video
I do
on the iBang of hairless chimpanzees getting in fights with haired-up chimpanzees. Turn around and look.
Oh
my
God.
God.
Chris, had you ever seen one before?
No, man.
And I don't think this is Here's my belief. I think these chimpanzees have a disease where they lost their hair.
Oh, my God.
And the other chimpanzees are being mean to them.
Oh, that's sad.
That's so sad and so disturbing looking.
But maybe they deserve it, though, because they're fucking horrible looking.
It looks like a human being.
It looks like a weird human being.
Oh, God. Oh, it's so fucked up.
But you know how, in movies, aliens will call us hairless apes and we don't take it too personal?
Yeah.
Now I see that humans are just hairless apes.
Oh, my God.
And see, they're hitting that other one that seems to be losing some hair.
Oh, my God.
So I think they're freaking out over the disease. I don't know where this takes place. But a hairless chimpanzee is the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life.
That is so disturbing.
Its face, its body, its muscles.
Yeah, it's so much musclier than I realized.
Yeah, it's like a guy who's really cut, like a gym rat. This is where Vito wants to get. He wants to be a hairless chimpanzee. Vito, do you think you could beat that thing?
NA combat? Yeah, I think I could.
You could never.
You're insane.
No, I could definitely take it because I'm twice its size.
It doesn't matter. You can't beat a chimp.
There's no way that you could beat that thing. Look at it. Look at the arms.
Here's what also happens. Not only that, but they bite so hard that they'll bite down and break bone. And then they also getting hit with their hands. See how he's throwing those punches?
Yeah.
For us, that would be like getting hit with an aluminum baseball bat.
Oh.
And a hairless chimpanzee, you can't even wrestle because they're so slippery. and slide.
You'll be sliding right off them.
Yeah.
They bite fingers.
Now, remember, that's up on the iBang under what, Chris? Hairless chimpanzees start some trouble?
Yeah, start a zoo brawl.
All right. The other one that you need to see,
all right,
and it's all because that you said that you could beat an ostrich. Watch this ostrich chasing these cyclists. Now, look how fast these dudes are going, right?
Okay. Yeah, good clip.
Yeah, they're going at a nice, fast clip. Now, watch this. Look how fucking fast an ostrich is when it runs.
It's huge.
This is the animal you claim to be able to kill with your bare hands. Look at it. Look at how massive. Look at the speed.
The speed is phenomenal.
Okay. I never said I was faster than an ostrich.
But that ostrich, you don't think he could outlast you?
Look at, he's still going.
Jesus, man. Fucking animals.
Because I'll tell you, one time
Literally.
years ago, I tried to choke an ostrich out on a bet.
Yeah.
Didn't even, push down to the windpipe.
What?
I mean, it was just it was grabbing onto a pipe.
Yeah.
This is fucked up. I didn't put that.
The only thing that could beat an ostrich in a fight, in my opinion, is a hairless ostrich. Which I never want to see.
Look at the speed, Chris.
How's it keep going?
It's insane. Now imagine those legs. You're saying I'm not fast enough.
Yeah.
Now imagine those legs kicking you right to the chest and tell me how you could beat an ostrich in a
I'll
fight.
take 2 or 3 kicks to the chest, right?
You will not. You will take one kick to the chest.
I just give me a goddamn neck.
And it would break your ribs. Not to mention the head has, the neck has a lot of strength. If that thing just started pecking at you, forget it.
I mean, I'll try to dodge its beak.
I've never seen you. You're acting like you're a speedy person. I've never seen you move quick.
I have great velocity. That's all I'm going to say. The stamina ain't there, I'll tell you.
But you know what? The few times I have seen you move quick, you fall. You can't stay up on the pin.
Yeah, you're right about that.
There's no way.
Was there something else we were going to show up there too today? I forget. But you need to see the ostrich. Sharon is a picture of Sharon Osbourne, and she's done the Kim Kardashian, and she looks pretty damn good.
Damn, Sharon.
Now, Sharon is what, in her 60s easily, right?
Easy, yeah.
Yeah.
She might even be 70.
She looks excellent.
She's not 70.
I thought she was up there.
It's not-
I feel like she was up there
It's not a fucking
in the heyday.
compliment coming out of you, dude. Everything that you say is fucked up. I think she could be 85. But she was a big woman when she was younger.
Yeah, she's very much slimmed down. She
Yeah.
looks great.
Wait, we'll go back to that picture.
Oh,
Looks like
gross.
she's got that gap, though. Look, that's fun. That's nice.
You're pointing at a vagina.
Well, directly below the vagina.
All women have gaps there, Chris.
That's God's work.
Boys and girls are different, Chris.
I know. That's what I'm pointing out there. I don't see why she needed those black bars.
Because that's the whole point of it, Chris.
So she wouldn't be kicked off Twitter.
The Instagram doesn't like nudity. I think Twitter's fine with nakedness.
Really? Well, then put a picture of your balls up and let's see how far they go. She looks great, though, right?
Hell yeah.
She looks excellent.
Good for you, Sharon Osbourne.
By the way, I'm just pointing this out because during the commercial, Chris went everywhere to find pictures of his sax playing friend, and you couldn't find one.
Couldn't find Jeff the saxophone. I guess so. It's Jeff the grifter now. I fucking hang out with.
You call him just the sax player.
Sax man.
Does he call you Chris the producer?
No.
No one does.
That's fucked up, Gail.
That's true. We would never be able to find a picture of Chris actually producing a radio show. Well, there he is sitting. Looks like he's fallen on the floor there. Here he is eating some food out of a trash can.
Damn, those pictures don't exist.
There should be one picture of him actually producing. Weird. This is what Jeff is doing right now. Motherfucker! This is fucking crazy.
The guy's a fucking grifter. Oh my god.
We deserve each other.
By the way, there is the new thing of Oprah magazine is she's put all big women on the cover to celebrate, I guess, plus size people.
Yeah.
So go ahead and click that. Oh, that's just her, right?
Yeah, because also she's with like Weight Watchers.
Yeah.
So she's doing like a whole series of very cool.
I was hoping she was going to put up a Sharon Osbourne pic.
So
Nice.
our old pal Jenny Hutt made the cover of this Oprah. There she is.
Oh my god.
Congratulations to Jenny Hutt. Even though we're not friends anymore, doesn't mean that we don't wish the best for you?
I would like to have made that cover.
You probably would have to lose a couple. They still wanted to get other people on the cover.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
That's a very cool honor.
It is. It's very nice. That's
And
big.
she got the spot
Yeah,
right next to Oprah there.
That's
Well,
big.
The thing is, you gotta wonder if Oprah was even there, or they just put all this together. Like all of them were probably there, and then later Oprah comes and does it. And then
She's like, I don't want to be near those people, those commoners. That's exciting, though. That's a very big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got the cover,
Right
man.
on the O?
Yeah.
Love it.
So congratulations. I think it's big of us, even though we're not friends anymore, to say we're happy for you, Jenny.
Yeah, I'm super happy for her.
And your producer that hates us.
Oh, I'll never be happy for her.
And called us assholes.
Yeah, she's the asshole.
Good. Do you know?
Chris,
You know
why
what?
would you stir the pot when I'm
Don't
literally...
sink to their level.
I got the olive branch, Chris, and I'm saying I'm happy about this cover, and you're trying to muck it all up again.
You'd be better off with a jar of olives than an olive branch. An olive branch can be poisonous in the leaves. Olives themselves are good for martinis.
Hate a martini.
Do you?
Hate martinis.
What if that was the only alcohol left on earth? Would you drink it?
Yeah, I'd have to get it with a twist, though. I don't want one an olive.
You would fucking drink dog piss if it got you high. That's the thing. Because when your mouth is getting dry, you know you're high. Why don't you do this? Why don't you go out and get your buddy a brand new sax?
Why don't you just present it to him, be like, why don't you play me a tune?
Jay? Is it Jay? Is that his name?
Jeff.
This is something you probably recognize from work. It's a saxophone. The day before Harry, the new TV show Harry, Jeff will just be gone from town. Chris will go to his house. The apartment's empty. Every bit of your life is a lie. Hey, I want to say hi to a friend of mine who I haven't talked to in a while.
Oh, sure. Who's that?
She's from Chicago, home of Mike Ditka. It's her own Janice. Janice.
Yay, we're number 3.
Yay!
Worst accent.
Yeah, that's Gail.
The other night when I was eating dinner, there were 2 women sitting next to me, and from their conversation, I could tell they were both widows and sisters, and they were freaking the fuck out about Donald Trump, saying, what are we going to do? And they were discussing what their husbands would do if they were still alive. I find it quite interesting.
Yeah, everybody's freaking out, but, it's just going to go back to the way it was before. Was your life really different during Obama to Bush to Clinton? Now, I think this might be the first time in history that we had 3 guys go back to back like this, right? I mean, we've really, if you've been around for the last 24 years, there's only been 3 presidents.
Yeah, I mean,
Isn't that weird?
It's very weird. I mean, could we have a president who gets the boot after 4 years for this next one?
I would love it. I would love if we had a one-timer.
No matter.
Just to see the look on his face and that thing that you got to pack fast. You're like, I did not think we were leaving. So I haven't packed anything. I haven't even been in the garage for 2 years. I don't know what's in there. Probably a bunch of old podiums.
Although I will say the one thing about Clinton, whether people like him or not, is he was the first administration that eliminated any deficit since
And
Thomas
crime.
Jefferson.
He got rid of crime. There was no
that's
crime during the
easy.
Clinton years.
Okay.
Well, unless you count
differ.
molestation. It's a crime. If I was the president, I would have the urinal lined up like it was a podium. So they could just sit and ladies and gentlemen. Or I'd have a urinal in my podium.
Perfect.
So I'm taking a very quiet pee during the speech.
Is he peeing?
Don't worry about it. Pay no attention to that penis behind the podium.
I'm pretty shocked that Oprah would have anybody on the cover but her. She's always, that used to be our joke. Who's on the cover this month? It's Oprah.
Well, she's on with them, you know?
Yeah, that's unusual. She's very...
Did we tweet out our congratulations to our old friend?
We should tweet that out.
Yeah, let's be classy about that.
I would like to.
Well, you finally got what you want.
Happy now? Hashtag happy now.
Can you finally
Because I could be read happy now or happy now. Like, I'm happy now that this is happening.
And I so love the GPS LA.
Oh, thank you so much.
It's so great. And a perfect Zappa song. I'm not black, but there's times I wish I wasn't white.
Isn't that's the best fucking line?
Awesome.
Yeah.
I remember when I was a young knucklehead and I was like disappointed to find out he didn't smoke reefer. It's like,
I know. He was straight edge when no one was.
Yeah.
It was the weirdest thing because basically that was acid music. You used to listen to Zappa and trip, and then he was like, no drink, no smoke. What do you do? He was goody two shoes.
I can't believe that. It's very shocking, right?
And then he got the cancer and died.
Ugh.
Yeah, he did a bit.
And David Crosby's still going around fucking annoying people.
Every day's a gift.
Oh, yeah. Every day's a good day when you got a baby's fucking kidney. All right, honey. Nice to talk to you.
Oh, by the way, are we going to get a double Bennington tomorrow?
You know, we can't because I'm doing a Louis Anderson Unmasked. The plan was to do... But,
that'll be awesome.
Yeah, so we'll...
Anderson.
Low A.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right,
love
talk to you
guys.
later.
Bye.
Christine Basket.
Oh, hi, Mrs. Baskets.
Hi, you're back, Martha. Did you just go to Costco?
Yeah, I just picked up a koosh ball. It's a mini koosh. So.
Oh, it's ridiculous looking. Looks like you coughed it up.
I don't know why everyone's being so mean to me.
Well, my son's not here right now, so if you want, you go out and mow the back lawn.
Yeah.
Why don't you keep yourself busy and mow the back lawn?
Yeah, I told Chip that I would drive him somewhere, but I guess I could mow the lawn.
Martha's so great.
I love her.
Coming up, there's a new TV show that Joe turned me on to called Gaycation. And it's on, I didn't even know I had Spike TV. So Joe's like, check this out. It's on Viceland, right? Yeah. And I'm like, Joe, I don't have Viceland because I don't live in the future. And he's like, you do have it. It's called Gaycation. And the premise is, have you watched any of these episodes?
I have, yeah.
The premise is that these two wonderful gay people, they go out into the world and try to see how they're dealing with the gay issues.
Yeah, so it's Ellen Page and Ian Daniel, and they go to different spots. I watched one in Japan that they went to. They kind of uncover some of the nightlife that happens there, but also how they deal socially with, gay issues there.
What do you think the best and worst country is for being gay? Like, if you were going to be gay, best country you could pick. Chris?
France.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
America. This country.
These two not thinking.
Yeah, I think it's got to be something. I bet Berlin is good. Like
Berlin's not a country.
Yeah, but I mean, I bet that's a good Germany. But
yeah, I think that they always, because of that movie, they always had a cool underground gay scene.
Yeah.
But I think you had to keep it hidden.
Right. I think that's why I said Berlin, because I feel like specifically there, but I don't know outside of that how the rest of Germany is. Yeah. But it seems like it's a good city for it.
I can't get comfortable in Germany when it comes to social things.
England.
Well, I'll tell you this. England has got to be the biggest cross-dressing place on the planet. Men love to dress like women in England.
Yeah.
Mainly because they're not as fat as us, and they can get away with it.
They're nice and slim.
Although we could get away with it now after you see this new Oprah, where they put the plus-size girls on, which I have a friend that's working very hard for that type of acceptance in this country.
Yeah.
She takes it very, very personal when there's not more plus size models. That one size fits all thing. I would think like a Sweden would be a good place to be gay. Except for there's so many beautiful women that you don't have sex with.
But great for lesbians.
Gay women.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's the thing. All right, worst place, Chris.
I'm going to say someplace like Vietnam.
Guatemala.
I'm going to go Afghanistan.
Dubai.
And I'm going to pick Uganda because they actually kill people over there.
Yeah.
And I don't think Afghanistan is good. I know I've seen stuff with the Muslim countries and it looks frightening. Well, tell us who the hosts are, Gail, since they're stopping in.
So it's Ellen Page and Ian Daniel, and Gaycation airs Wednesdays at 10 p.m. East on Viceland.
Now, I'm going to ask this of you guys. At what point did you know that there was gays? You know what I mean? Like, I knew when I was younger there were funny gay characters on TV, but I didn't have it in my head of, oh, they hook up with men. It's a weird thing that I kind of feel like we don't point out to our children. Chris, do you remember?
I think it was middle school because I remember looking back on elementary school and middle school and realizing, oh yeah, that kid is definitely gay, or like he's.
But you don't even know how you found out about it.
I can't. I think probably just from other dudes telling me.
I was 7th grade too.
Really?
7th grade, and it had nothing to do with a celebrity. It's that everybody was joking and laughing because this one dude blew another dude for a flashlight, right? They were camping, and he blew him to get a flashlight. And everybody was making fun of the guy blowing, and I'm like, I don't want to give out their names. I'm like, what about the guy who got blown? Isn't that kind of, they'll put your dick in someone's mouth? Isn't that kind of odd? So I would have been 12 years old.
Wow.
When that fucking thing just hit me, because maybe I didn't even know about oral then. You know, I didn't grow up in a world where you had a porn machine sitting in the living room like you have now.
I feel like I always remember knowing about people being gay. And I think that might have been like my mom told me very young. And also like there were friends of the family who were gay. It was just like...
Not just friends of the family, but people in your family on the other side.
So I don't remember a time where I was unaware of it being a thing. It was definitely...
Well, your mother was not one to hide stuff from you.
No, she had.
And you were questioning. I mean, you don't understand how many questions you had as a little person. You were. I don't know if there's a better word for annoying, but it was constantly asking sexual questions, spirituality questions, government questions. It was nonstop, and you were a toddler.
Yeah, my mom had the theory that if I was mature enough to come up with the question, then I was probably ready for the answer. If I had put it together that I was curious about something.
That's why I would always say, well, go ask your mom.
Yeah.
I'm watching TV right now.
This is me time.
All the time is me time. Joe, what about you? When did you find out?
I remember the moment. It was right after Princess Diana died in 97. So I was 7, and Elton John was performing. My mom's like, oh, that's Elton John. I'm like, oh, cool. And then she goes, he's gay. I was like, what? And she goes, it means he likes men. And I was like, huh? Men?
It does seem weird to you that when you're told that, because you've already heard and seen all the cartoons and everything where it's male and female. Like, you don't realize how much information you get.
Yeah, of course. And that it is just taught as the standard. So you can imagine then if you were feeling differently as a child and you had no exposure to that, like how confusing that would be, because you wouldn't even have a name for what you were feeling.
I, in my school and neighborhood, a boy you never wanted to be told you have anything feminine about you at all. And I remember walking home, I must have been in 1st or 2nd grade, and I was walking next to a girl, and I don't know whether it was matching, but I pulled the book and was holding it on my chest instead of carrying it on the side.
Right.
And a fucking kid said, look, Ronnie, he's carrying his books like a girl, and I just started throwing fucking hands. I just started fucking throwing hands because it was like a reputation that you did not. And I think I did it because I'm like, oh, fuck, he's right. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm carrying my books the wrong way. I have pulled those to my chest instead of letting them swing down next to my hip like a hairless ape. But I remember, like, even with him pointing out, my fucking face went red.
Yeah.
Like, I just fucking redlined because I did not want to be compared to anyone with feminine.
Right.
It was not a place to go in life. What about you, Vito? Because Vito grew up in the city.
Yeah.
I was like 7 or 8 like Joe, and I got in trouble for making fun of a kid in my class because he was girly and hung out with all the girls.
That's the thing.
My mom goes, "Don't make fun of him. He's just gay." And I was like, "Wait, what's that?" And then she had to tell me. And now looking back, I think it's a lot more offensive that my mom just called that kid gay.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, too. That's the other weird side of it. Because no kid, if you really think it, is a kid straight or gay? No. You're not dating.
Right.
Most little boys will say they do not like girls. Girls are more attracted to touching and hugging and kissing than boys are. Boys are so anti it, most of them.
Right. Like my best friend in elementary school was very feminine. He hung out with the girls. That was his personality. And he was always really upset because, when I would defend him, people would say, "Oh, you're gay. And then I would say he doesn't know what he is yet. And that made him so mad because he was like, "Just say I'm not gay." And I'm like, none of us know what we are. Like, I was like trying to, it doesn't matter what he is.
That's so sad though, right?
I know.
Now that you're an adult and you hear what shit kids go through.
Yeah.
I mean, I go through it even now with people like Lauren down the hall.
Right.
Or E-Rock mocking out different things,
Terrible.
Yeah.
Denny. They make it hard, to not fit in.
Yeah. To be yourself. You can't.
Yeah. To be my shelf.
Yeah.
I like to say.
You can't live your truth.
Yeah. I don't know what Jenny Hutt's going to go through with that picture of her up on there. What did we write nice about her when we retweeted it?
I'll bring it up.
Read it out loud.
Read it to
That's
me.
finaldistrict.com. That's where you can read about Gail and Ron.
Yeah. And GPS.
We haven't retweeted it yet.
Okay, after the show, then retweet it.
Okay.
RT, please. That means retweet, just so you know. I like to use the lingo that the kids use.
I don't like any.
Love slang.
All right, I'm being told we did.
Are you lying?
Congratulations to Jenny Hutt on making the cover of Oprah. And then the retweet. Then retweet of Jenny Hutt's tweet.
But we didn't say, even though we're not friends anymore, we're classy enough to say. Okay.
Just congratulations to Jenny Hutt on making the cover of Oprah.
I like my way because it just left,
I wanted the hashtag happy now in there.
Here is Scott in Illinois.
Hey, buddy. Hey, it's awful big, you guys, with the Jenny Hutt thing there. That was great.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm glad we did it. I'm glad. I feel better about us.
I love the show, you guys. You guys
Thanks.
are really great.
Yeah, we are.
It's excellent. Yeah. I used to live in Germany. I lived there for a long time. I was stationed there, and I decided to stay there. And I was in Cologne, and I've heard that is the largest gay community in all of Europe. It's just massive there. I was there, and I saw a couple of dudes kissing on the corner, and I try to be open and everything. I wasn't grossed out, but I looked away. I thought, oh man, I don't know. But
well, that was your first time. You're just coming in with your own little feelings.
Yeah.
So you were right.
Yeah.
You're the one who picked Germany. All right. Thanks.
Thanks so much.
Thank you guys. Take care.
I'm gonna send you in the prize closet. Hold on for a second. Here is Andrew in Jersey. Andrew, how are you, buddy?
Hey, Ronnie B. I got tickets for the Unmasked next week with Bonnie. Do you think she's going to blow up the way Amy Schumer did? Because she's getting a lot of heat now.
Well, let me just say this. Amy Schumer is a once-in-a-lifetime thing, what happened. But I honestly will say I think Bonnie's going to be twice as big.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm going to make this prediction. This book will be made into a movie.
The life
it's that, yeah.
The
it's
life
that
of Bonnie.
good. Yeah. Because even if we didn't know her, this would be a fantastic story. So The Unmasked may be the last time you're ever to see her in a non-arena sized situation.
Go to theibang.com. Get your free tickets. It's happening Tuesday, March 15th at 8 p.m. at the Village Underground in New York City.
Do you think she'll divorce Rich now that she gets big and famous?
I kind of feel like they're living apart as it is, if I'm going to be totally honest. But let me tell you, if she does divorce Rich, he'll be in another relationship within 25 minutes.
Really? You think so that fast?
Women love him. Women love that man. I've been to the shows. They throw their pantaloons at him. All right, so we're getting ready for our guests. What are their names?
We've got Ellen Page and Ian Daniel coming in. And
remind me of this, too. Their show, Gaycation, right?
Yeah.
Vito was telling me that your friends talk about it all the time.
Yeah, I was out with some friends on Friday night, and they couldn't stop talking about how good it was.
You know what I feel bad about?
What's that?
The one person that loves the show and loves them the most of all, Kashmir, isn't working today.
It's so heartbreaking.
The fake jam band guy is the guy who claims he likes jam band music, and apparently, if you're going to believe the rumor mills,
he'll probably lie and say he watches Gaycation, too.
Are we breaking before we bring them in, or bringing them straight in?
We should break before we bring them in.
All right, so everyone knows Ellen Page.
Yep.
She was Juno. She was, what's that other Inception. I was going to call it Interstellar. And what's another big movie that she's done?
She was in
Hard
X-Men.
Candy.
Yep.
Candy.
Oh, she's an X-Men.
Oh, yeah, that's
she's
right.
a giant movie star.
Yeah.
All right, we got a giant movie star. And her really good friend,
Ian Daniel, who he's a documentary filmmaker. And so, yeah, the two of them host Gaycation together, and it airs Wednesday at 10 p.m. East on the new Viceland channel.
How crazy is that, though? Two friends, you get to travel around and be together.
That's
and
a blast,
do
man.
stuff
That seems
that.
like the most fun. And there's like so many great moments of them just like out together, having a blast, dancing. It's really sweet.
Yeah, you go to find out where the scene is in every town.
I want that for me and Jeff, but I guess that's not going to happen.
Actually, you and Dave had a show planned. I shouldn't even give it out, right? Because it's still a good idea.
It's still can.
But it's a very low rent travel show.
Shocker.
Imagine hobos doing a travel show. And when they told me, I'm like, this is the greatest fucking idea I ever heard, right? And I talked to two friends of mine who work for networks. And I go, hey, would this make a good show? And they're like, no. And I believe, though. I thought it was, I literally laughed out loud.
Maybe Viceland is a place you go with it.
The fact is that everyone at Viceland already lives like that. This was before Viceland was even happening. All right, when we get back, Ellen Page. What are you doing, Chris?
Grab my belt buckle.
You have to pay? You gotta
Kinda,
go?
yeah.
Yeah, all right. Why don't you run down and do that now? We'll be right back. Bennington.
So excited to have Ellen Page and Ian Daniel here. Gaycation airs Wednesday at 10 p.m. East on the new Viceland channel. Check your local listings or go to Viceland.com for more information.
I guess this is a show you guys never expected to be doing, huh? A couple years ago?
I know. If you told me 3 years ago you'd be making the show, I would have been like, wow, there's a journey ahead.
Same, yeah.
Well, the things I dig about the show is, you know, you see things in the world that are so different, but there are also a lot of core things just the same, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. You know, I think you see a variety of experience and different experiences based on culture, based on history, based on the context of the country, based on socioeconomic situation, what have you, and a variety in each country, you know, like the variety in people's experiences in our country.
Sure.
You know? So, and I think that's even something that we reflect on of the similarities in regards to what the community experiences all around the world.
Anything surprise you guys?
Yeah, that's a question we get, and we're always we've asked it every time, and we just still don't know how to answer it. It's like, you know, it's not one of those things where like, I thought this and then something blew my mind. I think the whole thing blows your mind that you're having a one-on-one interaction with people, that need you to share their story on some level, and then people that just don't like you and maybe want you to die, or people like you, So that's always surprising, to just look someone in the eye, either in a loving way or looking in someone's eyes that is hateful toward you. But I think it's surprising sometimes the perseverance that people have when there's violence against them and a huge amount of discrimination, and they wake up every day and they're positive. And, we see a lot of darkness, I'll say too. And to see that people that really have no other option but to experience darkness find a way to look at the light and go about their day and find friends and family and, I don't know, keep looking for love and all that stuff.
Well, I can tell you what surprised me was just seeing duality in each place. In the Brazil episode, you're seeing the duality of both sexually liberated, but then there's also there's a darkness there as well. And then in Japan, you kind of have a culture that seems to be comfortable with sex, and they seem to kind of embrace that better in many ways than we do. And yet, gay culture is swept under the rug. So that's what I thought is interesting, that you're going to see both in anywhere that you're going to visit.
Yeah, absolutely. You see these extremes, and I even remember getting ready to go to Brazil, for example, and having done the research and knowing the statistics and the highest rate of LGBTQ members in the world, and my first day was at Carnival, and I'm at the Samba Dome, and it's like a whole float dedicated to sexual identity, and so many trans dancers expressing themselves fully, and then it was like, oh, is this accurate? And it is in some sense. It's free. It's people are comfortable in their bodies and expressing themselves, and so there's this element of joy and an active nightlife, which we experienced in Rio and Sao Paulo. And then sadly also this aspect of a group of people that really, really despise LGBT people to the degree that they murder people.
And I guess the only way to have any kind of progress is to understand the oppressors. That's the thing. Like, what is the human part of the oppressors? Where can you find light in the oppressors? Because now that's the thing that really needs to be changed more than anything else. And it's not like we've done made huge jumps in this country. I mean, it has, but it takes place over a lifetime. And I think in this country, at least for me growing up in the 70s, it was art. It was David Bowie. It was T-Rex. And as I was a kid and I'm looking at that and loving that music, I had to be open to those artists. And I think even now that you could look at Hedwig has a big deal to do why people are able to understand trans people easier. Art is, I think, at the center of all this. And I wonder if we're doing a good enough job with our art in this country now. Like, I don't know if we have replacements for Lou Reed. I don't know if we have replacements for those kind of people.
Well, certainly in TV, I think that's something that's kind of interesting, because I think as much as that could be silly, or it could be like, gay characters on television, I think that that's actually one of the biggest things that kept it part of the conversation is having that, and suddenly your mother's talking about it, or your grandmother knows what trans is now because of Caitlyn Jenner. It's very strange, and it might seem light in many ways, but I think it brings it into the home. And
it was a huge part of wanting to make the show, just representation,
yeah.
And creating a platform to allow those who may never get an opportunity to share their voice or share their perspective, or people don't allow them to speak, essentially, marginalized people. And because representation is important, I remember being like 14 and stumbling on, but I'm a cheerleader, on the TV in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and how much that meant to me. And it really meant so much to me. It's so vivid in my memory, that moment. And even when we were in Japan and I was in a lesbian bar, and the women spoke so much about how much the L word has helped in Japan, and how powerful that's been. And so I totally agree with you. And Orange is the New Black, and and how we have to really be representing everyone. And that's obviously been a huge part of the conversation after the recent Academy Awards, and how, we're supposed to be reflecting, telling stories about human beings, and we need to do a better job about telling stories about everyone and people, and everyone having an opportunity to tell their stories.
Particularly at young people, because I think any homophobia is always at its base misogyny. You know what I mean? Like immediately, I remember being a kid, the worst thing that you could be called at 4 or 5 is a sissy, which basically meant you're acting like a girl. It's a girl is the center of this. And if you look at it, I think men are afraid of gay guys because of you're acting like a girl, and then lesbians because you've left us out of this thing. You've rejected us. It all seems to me to be misogyny at the very first point.
Yeah, I mean, it is that. I mean, I think it's just this anti-feminine attitude, and I think what you're speaking about, I can relate to, and the manning up idea that men are not supposed to be emotional, you're not supposed to cry, you're not supposed to be fragile, and I think that's ingrained in our society and our psyche on some level, and I think that, we're seeing that we're going to these countries that have a macho culture, and so to be feminine, or you're not even. They're saying, hey, we might be killing gay people or brutalizing gay people, but really it's if you're feminine on some level, right? If you're walking down the street and you appear to be female in any way, and you're a male, right, you're going to be potentially brutalized on some level. So we are seeing that abroad a lot, and I think a lot about it here, and how I personally, growing up in Indiana, had to sort of be a little more macho, portray myself as a little more masculine in order to fit in. And there are people that kind of just don't have that choice.
Sure.
I don't know. And I think they just have a much harder time.
But I also think that straight guys are forced to be more macho. You know what I mean? Like the straight guy has to say, I'm going to up this game because I don't want to be the victim. It's really, really so deeply ingrained. And I think most of it, we pick up on it maybe 3, 4, 5 years old, Yeah,
I think what's interesting there is that culture can have an influence on those kind of pressures, but most of it starts, I think, in home life. And so even before you're out in the world, you feel that kind of pressure, even if they don't mean to, from your parents or from your siblings. That's what's really interesting, is it starts so early, and a lot of it doesn't have anything to do with the outside world.
Yeah, but that's why I think a big part of the change came from the art of the 70s and 80s. That if you're a kid and you're looking at Elton John or Rod Stewart or even Mick Jagger went androgynous during that time because it was a cool thing to do. You got to almost keep it cool more than anything else.
Yeah, but a lot of people, I think it's really interesting you're talking about art and that time, because, that's like my mother's favorite time, and loves all those artists that you're speaking about. And I think they're pushing the gender binary. They're saying, oh, we're getting rid of this either or notion, and we can be both. I can be a man and be feminine, and that's actually can be a commodity.
Sure.
And but I think that's still happening. I think it's just in a different. I think, for example, like queer rappers. Right. They're pushing the boundary at every level in a kind of a homophobic platform. And I just think they're just not getting a lot of attention, but they do exist in the fringes. And there is this culture, especially in New York, that you can go out to these clubs and hear these people, and they are radical. I mean, the environment is radical. It's very electrifying. But are they hitting the mainstream like David Bowie, et cetera? Not necessarily.
But that's how you climb it, right? I mean, like, the reality of it is, and I always said this is like the gay culture in New York City is urban renewal. You know what I mean? Like, gays will go into a part of town that has been run down, and suddenly there's some cool restaurants and a cool hotel, and that brings in artists. And this thing, it doesn't always happen overnight with a vote. It happens slightly, and people go there and they're like, this scene is happening. Look at this little coffee shop. Just enough of a cool coffee shop run by some gay people changes things in ways people don't even understand. And I think the other big change in this country is how little gay marriage changed anybody else's life. You know, I tried to explain that when we had it in New York to friends of mine down south. They're like, well, what's different? I go, nothing's different, dude. And now the country has seen this. And in this election, the fact that we're not talking gay marriage.
I know. The problem is, though, a lot of people are feeling affected by it, and we're seeing all these, religious liberty bills and First Amendment Defense Act bills that are,
do they have teeth, though?
Disguised to allow discrimination. Well, I mean, they just tried to filibuster one, and it was in Missouri, and
so
the Democrats
state
lost,
by state.
and so the Senate passed it. Yeah, and I'm just saying there's been a rise of these anti-gay and anti-trans bills. So despite having more trans visibility than ever, we're also seeing all these, anti-trans bills pop up and more violence. And so it is like, it's that tricky time of the incredible progress, that recent Supreme Court decision that's amazing, mixed with, I do think, a backlash for sure.
On local communities at different spots around the country.
The places you'd imagine, and from the presidential candidates you'd imagine.
Well, Ted Cruz called, was it a liberal fascist? Was that the
Oh, I'm not sure. I think
was the name that he dropped on you?
Something like that.
Which I would wear as a badge of courage, of honor there. But what is that like when you go toe-to-toe with a guy who may end up becoming president, for all we know?
What's it like in the moment?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was all very sort of spontaneous. We were just at the state fair in Iowa, and we were hoping we were going to be able to interact, but it started to feel like it wasn't going to happen. And then someone basically was like, oh, he's over getting, some food up at that place. And we just sort of walked up. And for me, I felt like this was probably our one opportunity to talk to a GOP candidate for the, nomination president. And I just, went for it. And I do reflect on how amazing it is to live in a country where that's possible.
Right.
Where I can be like, excuse me, Senator, can I ask you a question? And he says yes, and proceeds to have a conversation with me. Clearly, we have a disconnect on the issue. But, we got to have that conversation. Yeah.
Which, like we said, wouldn't have happened years ago, even though it's frustrating today. We've made incredible amounts of progress in this country. Gail, you grew up in an environment where it was less stilted than me, right?
Yes, I would say, I knew young people who were coming out at a very early age, and
this was in Florida.
Yes, so it would be a place where it wouldn't be the easiest place. I mean, certainly when I came to New York, it was a much larger number, but to have young people come out, it was pretty common within my group of friends. It was always kind of part of my reality. Yeah, for sure.
And there's always been a gay scene down south. A lot of people aren't aware of it, but always like Atlanta and Birmingham and Houston. And it was somewhat of like I'm even talking years ago, somewhat separate but equal, but it was something that was known but not talked about. I think today people are just more comfortable discussing these things.
Well, I think also that when you have the pressure of the outside world, that is not in your favor, it causes kind of to force gay communities to kind of come together very tightly. So when you were talking about, forming communities or opening coffee shops or, theater spaces, stuff like that, that comes from the idea of having to make family and community that is your own, that's safe for you. So sometimes being somewhere like in the South, I think, causes those people to come together very tightly.
And that creates a social scene, particularly in the arts, but even in the restaurant or nightclub business, hotel business, where people look out for each other. And then you create an aesthetic that straight people are like, yeah, I dig this, just in the same way that you would, to go to a cool part of an ethnic part of the town. Totally. It's great to see you guys doing this, though. And just to see Vice now with a TV network, I mean, talk about things that have changed so fast. They approached you guys, or you approached them?
No, what happened is, so Spike Jonze is a dear friend of mine. I've known him for years, and he's a co-president of Viceland, has been working with Vice for a long time. And so I was staying with him briefly here in New York, and he just said, hey, we're launching a network if you have any ideas. And then a day or two later, I was like, I do have an idea.
Yeah.
And then, I think the incredible thing about Spike and Viceland is, and knowing Spike is just how much he empowers you, and it doesn't allow you to be afraid of an idea, because there's one thing to have an idea and there's another thing to believe in it and go for it. And what's so great about working with them is they really, if they're excited about something, they just put everything, behind it. We immediately started working on it. They give us so much. I mean, they're wonderful collaborators. We're always communicating, and it's really been an incredible experience to get to make this show with them.
And this is something you guys are open to continuing for a while.
Yeah, the plan is to go. Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about the next phase. I mean, the show I think even before it came out and we got the audience opinion, it felt like it was working. The format worked. We had a good connection. Vice enjoyed working with us. Vice is Vice has been making really radical content, honestly. They've been kind of changing the game. And I think that, we had to feel out Vice and how that was working, and it started working well. And so, I don't know, we'd love to keep making it. We're just working it out right now.
Well, thank you guys so much for stopping by. I think it's so cool you're doing the show, man, really.
Thanks so much for having us.
Yeah.
Thank you. Ellen Page and Ian Daniel. Gaycation airs Wednesdays at 10 p.m. East on the new Viceland channel. Go to Viceland.com for more information.
Ladies and gentlemen, the evening is over. We hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and we'll see you all again in 1974. Good evening!